Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/Sorgatron Media. Over 75,000 titles to choose from for your iPod, iPhone, or MP3 player.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got.
Hey guys, welcome to the Wrestling Mayhem show where there might not be pants. There might not be pants tonight.
Might not be. There's no fucking pants here.
There you go. No pants here. It's 271, and with us, as always, back in his domicile, Mr. DJ Lunchbox, where he can wear pants or no pants as he would like.
No pants. No pants. Fuck you and your pants. No pants rules. What's up, hot dog? My hot dog is up. I'm at home. I'm a floating head, and I have no pants on. It's true. No pants.
You are kind of a floating head.
Listen.
It's a black t-shirt on black chair.
Black on black.
Make it like a high, make a honey ho.
Between the three of
Snacks
us,
on snacks.
Snacks on snacks on
Chachi?
snacks.
between the three of us in this room, there's only 2 pairs of pants. I just want to point that out
Oh my.
because
And
AJ
there
and I
he
are
is.
both wearing half pants.
There
Yeah,
he
we're wearing
is.
shorts, kids.
Right.
On the couch
Are
is
you each in
Chachi.
one leg of the same pants?
No. We are
separate
in two
half
separate,
pants. Yes.
two
Right.
separate instances of shorts.
That's why there's no wide shots. Chachi's on the couch. Chachi says .net.
Hi, guys.
You find host of the new Unsung series on PittsburghOnVideo.org. He's being recognized as such now. So congratulations.
Yeah, it was in Fine View,
Yeah.
and it came from an unusual source.
Which would be?
I was walking down the street in between 2 different sections of where they were filming zombie stuff, because that's the event we covered this weekend.
The Fine View
Yeah.
event. Pop up Pittsburgh. Give him
yeah.
a plug.
They were filming a short zombie film in that beautiful neighborhood, and I was walking up and down this big hill all day because the main event was at the top. The main part of the event was at the top of the hill, and the zombie contest was at the bottom of the hill, along with all the vendors and stuff. It was a really bad layout, but I was walking back up the hill.
It's like criticism. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this kid couldn't have been more than 12. Asked me if I was the guy that did the unsung videos. It was weird.
That's awesome.
It was weird.
He's recognized. That's over. One episode was released at the time, so
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. And also on the couch this week, returning to us. That's Chachi again. AJ.
All up in this motherfucker tonight.
Were you sleeping?
No, I was not. Resting my eyeballs so I can say this shit on the internet. I'm here to talk that wrestling shit on the internet.
There he is.
All right.
And of course,
Good
AJ
energy,
turned
good
southern
energy.
this week.
Macho Mike tonight.
Ooh, yeah. I like it. I'm here in tribute to the Macho Man.
Somebody
yeah,
mute him.
Because I am the cream of the crop and I rise to the top. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Mute him.
Let him have his intro. Let him have his intro.
Fine. That's it.
Fuck you.
Can we just...
Fuck
can
you.
we-
You got me into wrestling, for God's sake.
That's
I'm
fair.
allowed to pay tribute.
All right, how you doing out there in the Bronx or Sarasota, Florida, as it might be?
I'm in Sarasota, Bronx.
Perfect.
Don't you want to go? That's too soon for that joke.
Yeah. Man, also from Corpus Christi, Texas,
Hey,
is
you know
the
what?
Wrestle Fan.
Wait,
How
can
you
I
doing?
just?
Let the Wrestle Fan have his intro, and I'll come to you.
Hi, Chachi. You step on me again.
No, it was a good thing.
There will be no stepping. Can we lay off the
Corpus
stepping?
Christi.
Especially not me, because I'm tired.
I wanted to preface
Yes.
Preface.
his intro
Preface.
with a congratulations,
Oh,
because
Yeah,
as
yes,
of today,
today.
our youngest member
Oh.
is done with high school.
Oh.
Yes.
System.
Yes. I got a G-chat message from him this afternoon that said 46 minutes and I'm done.
Fuck you, public education system.
Oh, he was just talking about how long it take him to come.
That's right. Now you got to pay for it.
To graduation.
Yes. So, yeah.
Now it's full.
Go ahead. I just
You're
had
still a
to.
little bitch, though.
I'm still a little bitch. If you guys make fun of me 13 or 14 more times, I'm fucking epic. I swear. Fucking yeah.
All right, go ahead, WrestleFan.
That was it.
Fantastic! And this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, the show that does not
Sorg.
quit. I'm Sorg.
Hi, Sorg.
I'm Sorg. Hi, I'm Sorg.
I know.
Sorg.
Sorgatron is here.
Sorg hard on. Sorg.
Oh, it's the new version.
I know.
What's up, Mach?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell?
No, that's the TNA one. It doesn't
Oh, that's
count.
the TNA version, yeah.
It's Jay Lethal,
Fuck
but
TNA. Fuck him hard,
anyways.
fuck him fast,
But if
fuck
you can-
Impact Wrestling in its ass.
I'd
Wrestling
rather
Mayhem
hear-
Show, WrestlingMayhemShow.com if you want to find out all that we're up to. Also, follow us on Twitter at Mayhem Show and check out all our Twitters. If you're watching the video, they're under our names right there so you can find out what's going on with us. We have fun, wonderful discussions on Twitter, especially during pay-per-views.
Sorg, I have a question.
Yes.
Can we play Be a Man Hulk on the show this week?
Let me see what we can do. And also,
Please.
you can send emails on whether or not I did be a man
Good
Hulk
times.
at
Good times,
WrestlingMayhemShow.com, or you can call us on your voice phone on 412-206-WMS0. That's 9670 for the rest of you that don't have those. Also, you can follow stories that we post up on delicious.com/WrestlingMayhem. T-shirts through Spreadshirt. Please check it out. We get paltry bits off of it. We just want to share the Mayhem love.
You know what shirt you can get at Spreadshirt?
Yeah, what shirt can you get there at Spreadshirt? Is that the
This
Chachi
one.
Plays for Kids
It is.
shirt?
Here, let me move the
The
microphone.
Chachi Plays for Kids shirt, it's not that exact kind of one. It's a Spreadshirt version.
Yeah.
But still,
That's now available?
Yes, they're available for $15 up there. You just hit the Spreadshirt button on SorgatronMedia.com or
Right.
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
And all proceeds go to charity.
Yeah,
so.
proceeds. I think we get like $1.60 off of those, but we'll be holding that over for the Mario Lemieux Foundation next year when
Right.
we get all that together.
Right.
So please go check it out. Support the cause. Hey, it's a cool shirt.
It is a cool shirt.
Melissa Ott Designs, right?
Yes.
Props to her for the design. Excuse me. Also, hey, you can follow us on iTunes.
Props to my dick for designs.
Wow.
Skeet, skeet! All up on your mom's face. It looks like a
You can follow us.
melting Antarctic.
Subscribe us on iTunes if you're using that so you don't miss an episode. We're also
Don't miss a second
on
of this
Blip
wholesome
TV,
family
the newly
entertainment.
designed Blip TV, WrestlingMayhemShow.blip.tv. On MediaFly is how I've been listening to all my podcasts lately. YouTube.com/WrestlingMayhemShow, YouTube.com/Sorgatron Media. And also we have a fantastic iPhone app, which AJ.
yeah. All right. So if you were listening to the Awesome Cast like 20 minutes ago, you would know that I am testing out Android right now, and I did the right thing, and I bought the app again. So I bought it twice. Two time I bought that app.
Twice.
That's right.
Twice.
That's right.
I'm like an all-American. Sort of.
American.
all
Super
Mayhem.
American.
All Mayhem.
So I bought it, and so now I have the app twice, so I can listen to it
There you
twice.
go.
It's twice as nice when I listen to it twice.
There you go.
Twice the mayhem, twice the fun.
Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold. It's for iOS. It's for Android. We have exclusive content on there. The videos before, middle, and after the show. The stuff we don't
if
get
you
in
want to
there.
hear us say
usually
things that aren't wrestling related,
no. Or if you just want us to make fun of WrestleFan, there's more of that when you get the
Yay!
yeah,
Only
you want to hear me make fun of
$1.99.
him? I said some
And it's
terrible
some-
things,
Yes, you did.
disparaging remarks.
Yes. And it helps the show. And there's quick links on there for the stuff I just talked about: the Twitter, the email, the hotline, so you can drunk dial us with ease.
Yes.
You don't have to worry
Easy
about the
peasy,
numbers.
lemon squeezy.
Excuse me,
Trust
I
me,
need to
that's a
open.
lot easier than
exactly.
calling your exes.
Excuse me, I need to open the app. I gotta call somebody.
Call
Bonk.
a Mayhem. We have an ear open to you with all your problems.
Spit it. Skinny back down. Be
Let's go. Let's
What?
Skip it about pop. Yeah, we just had a scat fest.
Is that what that was, like a drunken scat fest?
Yes.
Anyways, I like to say we do like to hear from you.
Oh,
Oh, it's
Jesus.
dog.
Oh,
There's a dog.
That
Yo.
was you.
Who let the dogs out?
Oh,
No.
no.
WrestleFan's about to.
There you
Say,
go.
thank you for answering my question, Chachi.
No problem.
He actually left. Also,
You know something,
hey,
brother.
Hey, hold those up. We got stickers.
We got the stickers.
over there.
We got the stickers. Hold on. I got a couple of them here. Oh, there's a wrapper. Thanks, Lunchbox. I got them stickers.
Oh,
I got
There
them
he is.
stickers.
We got a whole bunch of them. We want to send them to
Yeah,
you.
you should leave your
Please
wrappers in the
Send a
couch.
self-addressed stamped envelope to Wrestling Mayhem Stickers, care of Sorgatron Media, 1535
I got
Bosco
more.
Avenue,
I got
Pittsburgh,
more.
PA. We got links on the website for that. Just look up for the stickers.
You
on
send a self-addressed stamped
WrestlingMayhemShow.com.
envelope. Make it rain. Oh, that happened.
What is going on?
He made it rain. He made it rain stickers.
I made it rain stickers. I made it sticky in here.
So we like
Whoa.
to interact with our fans here on the show.
Yes,
we
not
do.
with the sticky though.
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, it depends on the fan.
that's
we're always
correct.
looking
Fan
for
of how
new
much I feel
faces.
like
That's
talking.
how we get in here. Please contact us if you want to get in on this stuff, right? And WrestleFan's still gone. But we also like to get into
WrestleFan
fan
is
mail.
going to take care of his dog.
Whoa there, guys.
What?
Did you just
Get
insinuate
outside.
WrestleFan's gonna fuck his dog?
What? He did.
A little bit.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, WrestleFans.
Oh.
I'm gone for 5 seconds.
And we're already insinuating that you're fucking dogs. That's how quickly this shit gets turned around.
So we got emails from the fans, from
It's
you,
just your
Yes.
little bitch.
the fans,
You're a little bitch.
and we
Yes.
got one
Send us an
from
email.
Pierre Calais.
Berets, baguettes, cigarettes.
Who usually reads these ones? I forget. Who
I
reads
do.
these? You
Will does.
Will does?
Yeah. Or
No,
Lunchbox.
I
I do? Okay.
All right.
Oh, wait, man, Micah, you usually do? Go ahead.
Whatever.
No,
Got it?
if you usually do, I just remember Lunchbox doing it. I apologize. Go ahead. Read the email.
Actually, I thought WrestleFan usually read Pierre Kelly.
No, WrestleFan reads the
I
AON.
read nothing.
WrestleFan reads
I usually read the Wolf, who didn't fucking write in this week.
Yeah, I'm a little disappointed.
I'm out.
WrestleFan usually reads the AON report.
That's right. That's right.
So go ahead, Mike. Read.
Go ahead, Mike.
Okay. To the WMS Nation.
Yeah.
I was
awesome.
about ready for the change that TNA Impact, or Impact Wrestling, was
TNA
about to uncover.
Impact.
What it was,
TNA
it was a blue scheme. Even the slogan, Wrestling Matters Here, was on display. But what was going on isn't right. This, to me, and to the WMS Nation, looks like a high school production of WWE SmackDown or WCW Thunder. What in the name of Magnum TA did TNA do to make changes to a set we all know and love? Where's the six-sided ring? Where's the tunnel entryway? When can we bring back Don West to reunite with Mike Tenay? When will Impact Wrestling get off the Spike TV schedule for good? All I know is you got a Sting versus Sting match. Who was playing the old school version of the character we know and love? None other than Mr. Anderson.
Oh, wow.
But the
Better question. Who fucking cares?
Yes.
Yeah.
Apparently Pierre Kelly does.
Pierre
Well,
Kelly cares.
all I gotta
for
say, TNA, way to show Wrestling Matters by ending your show with an in-ring promo.
And having 20 minutes of wrestling to our program. Anyway,
Yes.
but the matches had to run less than 5 minutes because you were thinking it was a TV taping, and they run shorter than the WWE TV match length. So Dixie Carter, if you're out there,
Kixie
here's what the WMS Nation needs you to do. 1, keep Mick Foley as the network consultant. 2,
No.
revert the ring back to 6 sides.
All right.
3, revive the X Division and increase the knockouts.
Amen.
And the most important thing to do, fire Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff.
And
Together,
Russo.
we can make Wrestling Matters right here. And condolences to Michael Cole, who's not going next year's WrestleMania
Condolences.
WWE Hall of Fame theme and having the name called by Howard Finkel.
Did
See you
Michael
guys
Cole
later.
die?
Pierre K, a.k.a. Mr. Techwood Drive.
Did Michael Cole die?
Might as well have.
Because he said condolences. Who the
Guys,
Yes.
I just got an email.
Oh, yeah?
Private email. Apparently, Little Nickel has friends from high school there on Facebook.
Fuck you.
Oh, yeah, I got that too.
Fuck you in your mouth.
That's the greatest email of all time.
I didn't see this.
Do we have an email of the week? Because I think that's just one.
Wait, is this? It is to
It's
Lil
to-
Nickel.
It's May, you motherfucker.
St. Mary's High School is waiting for you on
I'm tearing
Facebook.
up. That was good.
That's wow. Wait, you gotta explain Little Nickel. This was a
Okay.
April Fool's joke.
Little
from
background.
a few years
A
back.
couple of years.
Let's explain that little mistake.
Mistake.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, I played an April Fool's joke on everyone here by sending in a fake hate email signed by Little Nickel. And,
Signed by Little Nickel's mother, who also does not exist.
And PTA.
And not to
PTA
mention the
members.
word
And
wrestle.
I think the superintendent of the school, too, right?
Something like that.
Oh, that was such a.
There was a comment from our one one of our newest biggest fans, Benoit versus Guerrero in the chat room. Impact Wrestling was just TNA smeared with Smurf blood. It still suffers from the same problems. And it spells Dixie Carter.
He's not wrong.
Interesting. No, yeah.
Dixie Carter.
Did not watch it myself.
I miss you, Smurf
but-
blood.
Yeah.
All right, let's get on to the most important
Well, let's finish the
email.
email and then we can talk
Yeah.
about
What's that,
TNA
Chachi?
SmackDown.
But
Oh, we
let's-
haven't gotten through all of. Did you? Who?
Yeah, we
somebody
finished Pierre Kelly.
Finish the French email.
I
did.
finished
It's
Pierre
already-
Kelly.
I didn't hear the Techwood Drive bit.
You weren't listening.
You weren't
With your
listening
ear
to
hole.
the
Did you call him? Did you call him Peter?
Peter Kelly. Dude's name is Peter.
Peter Kelly.
All right,
Pete Kelly.
Oh, I thought you called him Mike
Don't-
Peter.
don't call
I'm
him
really
Pete Kelly.
confused.
let's
and
get on to the most
All right.
important email
That's only
every
because
week.
you have no pants on.
What's that?
The one I read.
Put
I'm
your
not
dick
drunk
away.
because I got no pants on. I'm drunk because I've been drinking.
Put your dick away.
I have an email from the Riz.
Okay.
WMS, as I often do, I watched WWE's pay-per-view Over the Limit on something that isn't illegal that had a chat room in it.
That's weird.
And can I say...
He watched it on chat roulette.
That's usually called a bar. I don't know.
Because Riz loves
that
Over
shit.
the Limit.
No,
paired with a
Riz
bunch
must
of
have watched
man
it free
dicks.
on WWE.com.
Oh.
And can I say, there are some stupid fucking people in those things.
You've never been to an internet chat room, apparently.
Then it got me thinking of the terms or reasons that many of these fans use that need to stop. Because they use it so much that watered down the word or phrase.
Okay.
Number 5. Stop acting like you know every damn thing about professional wrestling. Because unless you're a wrestler, historian, or a logger, you don't know as much as you think you know.
A logger?
A logger, that's what I do.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I was
Like,
thinking of
not a
somebody who goes to like
lumberjack, I'm
squats
okay.
and pulls stumps out of.
Fuck,
Riz
fuck
was
you
just
in
shouting
your
out
mouth.
to me. He was
Fuck
trying to get
you
me
in
on
your
your
mouth.
I'm
Number
lumberjack. I'm okay.
Number 4.
Yes.
Cut the PG crap, and no, I'm not talking to WWE.
Oh.
Whoa! Did somebody get
No,
called
I
a
don't-
butt face in
I
the
don't
chat
get it.
room?
I think
No,
he
it
means
says everybody-
getting all of them to stop complaining.
Yeah, everybody's
about
like, "Oh, it's
WWE.
PG. It sucks." You know, interesting side note to that. I did.
You
the,
suck.
Whoa, hey.
Hey,
Whoa, that's
Hey.
a fans
Not
getting
you,
riled.
Sorg. I'm saying the people that say that.
I live tweeted taking a survey on WWE's survey the other night. I think you were on at the time. And interesting, they actually asked it old releases like ECW and stuff if you prefer the original or PG cut material.
I
Yeah,
prefer the
can
one with the
I just
fucking
point
blood in
something
it.
out?
Yeah.
So
Well,
WWE, when
it
they
depends on who you're
show
asking
pictures of
with that.
people who were bleeding, they fucking make it black and white. The goddamn newspaper, which covers every surface in every city on the fucking planet, they show gory ass, limbless, bloody, fucking all in color.
Yeah, there was a guy who got in a motorcycle.
and until
accident on
mankind
Saturday
is
and
peaceful
lost
enough
his
not to
life.
have violence on the news, there's no point in taking out programs that meet up our entertainment value.
True.
Wow.
Is on
Yes,
the
I
news.
quoted Clueless.
Okay.
You're all welcome.
All right, number 3.
Number 3.
Stop comparing shit to something completely different. When the tag team match was coming on, there was a conversation in chat about how CM Punk is getting manhandled by the Big Show and Kane.
Oh shit!
Then the person who was making this assumption claims that, and I quote, Rey Mysterio always had his way with Kane when they wrestled, and he was a smaller guy. A. Rey Mysterio was a face. 2. Kane was a heel. 712. Kane and Big Show are big, size-wise, and usually get the
I
upper
think he
hand.
skipped a couple numbers.
And usually
No,
get
he didn't.
Nope.
and usually get the upper hand against smaller size-wise guys, especially if the big guys are faces and the little guys are heels.
And maybe it's just me, but I remember Big Show swinging Rey Mysterio like a baseball bat into the.
Yes, true.
Yes.
That's true.
Yep.
Yes.
That is
It doesn't matter where Rey Mysterio is. He gets manhandled like the child that he is.
Yes.
Need I
He's
do I
a
need
little
to-
baby child.
do I need to bring up him
Yeah, I
getting
miss
tossed into
Batista.
the TV production trailer on WCW?
By big sexy.
Yeah.
Can I
Does anyone forget the part when Kane hit Rey Mysterio as he lawn darted him with a chair?
That's true.
Oh God!
He did
yeah,
the
that was
same
bad.
thing with Rob Van Dam. That's an awesome move. I love it when Kane does that.
Number 2.
By the way, I hate Rey Mysterio.
Yeah,
Continue.
we know. Number 2. Hating John Cena because
Racist.
No, it says nothing to do with racism. It has everything to do with Rey Mysterio as a stupid asshole.
hating John
Don't you talk about midgets like that.
WrestleFan takes
Shit.
resemblance.
WrestleFan, you don't have to back up every Mexican on the show just because.
Oh, no.
Yes, he
Everyone?
does.
How many have I backed up, sir?
all
It's
of
in his
them.
contract.
It is on this.
One.
And it's in my contract to hate people. So, there you go.
2.
I thought you were about to say it's in your contract to hate Mexicans.
Nope. That's free will.
No, I don't have any hate for Mexicans because I love Alberto
Okay,
the
ready?
River.
One more time. 1, 2, 3. Fuck the
Fuck the
Mexicans!
Mexicans!
Wow.
Why? I don't.
By the way, that's a reference to basketball, for all of
basketball.
our listeners
Yes.
who may have just gotten offended.
Yes, and
We all watched the movie recently and we all love it, so
And
don't get
to-
pissed
Yes,
off.
yes. Check out Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold for more on that.
Yeah, if you want to know more
And-
about that,
Yeah.
buy
Also,
the
check
app.
out
Buy it
basketball.
once, buy it twice. Watch basketball, and then fuck your own face.
and to any Mexican listeners that we may or may not have had, we don't hate you. We love you.
We just like saying
To any
that.
Mexican listeners we may or may not have had.
Hey,
See.
to all the people who live, to all the people who live in this general area, we love you.
Yes. Number
Yes, we're in
2.
a very.
I'd like to go home.
Number
They'll be
2.
waiting out front for you. You
Yes.
didn't walk here, did you?
Yes, it did.
Oh no.
Yes, indeed.
That means you
Oh,
have,
smart
you have
Mr.
a lot of Mexicans to
Gringo.
get
Like
through.
to talk about the wrestling, man.
At what point here did I say I hate Mexicans? And I
Brooklyn
also did not
alive.
yell
I
fuck
turned
Mexicans.
That's true. You
Yes,
did
you
not.
did. And it is unfortunate because the studio is on Foursquare.
Okay.
I didn't check in, sucker.
Number 2.
Chachi, you're never finishing this.
I know.
No.
Riz
a
made
goal.
this too damn long.
Number 2.
Jesus.
I was waiting
What?
for someone to interrupt
No,
me.
no. Finish the email, please. Everybody, let him finish.
I thought my thing cut out.
Hating John Cena because John Cena's doing it. At Over the Limit, people in the chat room and
Doing it.
Twitter.
He said doing it.
I said what in the butt. I said what in the butt. Want to do it in my butt. In my butt.
I said what? In the
Okay.
Please.
By the way, I
Let's go. No, by the
I
way,
graduated
finish
at
it.
high school.
Finish it.
At Over the Limit, people in the chat room and Twitter were enjoying the match as the match went on. However, when John Cena won, there was a shitload of hate going towards the match and how it ended. If it was Randy Orton versus Christian, who had that same match, with Christian beating the shit out of Orton for the majority of the match, then have Orton win the match, there would be a little bit of an uproar, but not as big as Cena's because Cena won. Fans just need to stop hating Cena because he's John Cena.
Yeah.
Point of order.
Yeah.
I like John Cena, and I thought the ending of that match was stupid as shit.
Me too.
Well, hold on.
We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Well,
Yeah,
later. Yeah,
we'll get
yeah.
into it.
All right. And number 1, using the term buried.
Buried.
Bird.
Yes.
Bird.
Unless
You got bird.
unless the Undertaker comes back and actually buries someone in a buried alive match, I don't want to hear how CM Punk or Christian or whoever else is getting buried in the WWE. Guys like CM Punk don't need wins to show how important he is to a storyline.
Buried.
It's not about the wins either, man.
Was
Not
Christian's
about the wins.
Was Christian's loss after winning the titles 2 days prior weird? Yes. Does it mean that his matches over the limit means that he's going to get crushed? No. Grow a pair.
Yeah, I mean, we wait, like they said, wait to see where it goes. I mean,
And his match at Over the Limit was the best match on the card.
I mean, how many times do we see like somebody in an Intercontinental match and a title match, like Dolph Ziggler or Brian Daniels and Dolph
Ziggler,
Kofi Kingston?
There was like a stretch of matches that Dolph Ziggler was just putting on a friggin' clinic.
There was like Mysterio, wasn't it?
It was. There was some with Mysterio.
2 with Bryan and 2 with Cena.
Yeah.
And there was also there was a stretch of like pay-per-view matches.
Yeah.
That Ziggler was just getting put. There was one with Edge. There was one with Ray. There was one with CM Punk, and there was one with.
I don't think he ever wrestled Punk.
His match with Caval was really good too.
Yeah,
Caval.
Like that Dolph Ziggler can pull a match out of damn near anybody.
Yeah.
He's
But and half the time he's not winning them. I mean, he's the heel.
No, for the most part he's losing.
A lot of times, he's had run with guys for the IC or the US belts and lost every one. Looked damn good. No, actually, with the Rey Mysterio was one of them because it was late last year. He had a pay-per-view match with a few matches with Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, it was at SummerSlam. They had that
SummerSlam, and I remember after that, we're like, he didn't win that match, but he won in general. You know, it was just you don't need wins and losses don't mean anything, guys.
But then he cut his hair and turned into a jobber.
Hey, it's not a sport.
No, but he changed his hair back again
hell
this
of a
week.
match
So
with Eddie Guerrero.
everything's right in the world.
What was that, LB?
Everything's right in the world.
sorry.
Dolph Ziggler's blonde again.
Oh, hold on, WrestleMania. LB, what did you say?
I think Dolph Ziggler would have had a just incredible match with Eddie Guerrero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
That would have been something to see.
Oh God, especially if Vicky was involved somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then the stuff
that'd be fun.
Stuff he had with Cena was tremendous. Just those random they went to Europe one time.
Yeah, there was he was doing like something on like Raw. Well, no, that was the part. That was when Cena was making fun of Vicky.
Okay.
During one of the greatest promos where they were in Austin and King and Cena were doing back shows.
And they were
back to back.
Killing it.
Just destroying her.
Killing the
crowd. And then Dolph and Cena had a friggin' incredible match that night. And then that spurred off like a whole string of matches. And I think that's when they went on the European tour and Dolph and Cena were having a bunch of matches
Because I think they had one of those crossover deals where they were on Raw. He came over from SmackDown for whatever reason. They did their match there. Then I think Cena went over there because they were leading up to like Royal Rumble or something that was cross-branded like that. Good stuff. I think we have more email, right?
I haven't finished it
Okay,
yet.
I just want to make sure. Can he finish?
Sorry, I just had to vent out anger.
Finish.
If you guys have any others to add, feel free to give your ideas. Until next time, Riz. P.S. Do you think if I put new Mayhemmer of the Year on my resume would get me a job?
I don't know about getting you a job.
Not if you use improper
Yes, it
grammar
will.
like that.
No. Yes. I'm not opposed to you putting
It will.
on there.
Straight up, yes, it will.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Okay, yeah.
absolutely. It'll lessen your chances at a job and possibly get you fired and/or AIDS.
And you will be
fired of a job he
swimming-
doesn't already have.
Swimming in pussy, which is not as cool as it sounds.
Yeah, I mean, if you try to swim inside of a vagina, it's not. Unless you find some girl
that
like
is right.
really. No, it doesn't work that way.
It smells.
You
Most
could be
girls
really
can't
tiny.
keep their regular size vaginas clean, let alone, one you can swim in.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Whoa, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah, if you can get into one, I'm pretty sure that there's going to be issues.
Yeah, bigger problems.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean,
And also,
Speaking
you
of giant
Are we
vaginas,
still
can we
talking
talk
about
about
vaginas?
Kong on Raw last night?
What was that, LB?
I said, speaking of giant vaginas, can we talk about Awesome Kong on Raw last night?
Oh, what the hell was that?
Sure, go ahead.
You
you just have a boner right now, don't you?
you have no. It's huge. It's huge. You think this is my hand? It's not. I feel bad for many reasons. One, because clearly Kong Poo just wants to be loved. She was lashing out at the divas because she just wanted to be loved. And two, fuck. It was such a promising thing they were doing with her, and now they just shit all over it.
The whole time it happened, as soon as she fell down and started crying, I'm like, okay, so one of the girls is gonna come up to her and like touch her on the shoulder, and she's gonna flip the fuck out and start beating them up. Like, she's
what
gonna
I
start she's gonna cry, and then she's gonna start to laugh, and then she's gonna beat the fuck out of all of them. But it cuts a commercial, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And
You
I
know,
think someone
something
made the
impressive
point.
that
I hope this doesn't happen, but next week on Raw, she's gonna come back in the backstage, and she's gonna want to be like a diva, and they're gonna give her a makeover, and I'm gonna vomit blood out of my eyes.
LB, what
I
are you
really
saying?
hope she wears something where her tits hang out, though. That'll be great.
Oh, okay.
I think it might be in line with the whole anti-bullying campaign.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's revealed that, like, Karma was really bullied as a child.
And that's why she was doing what
Because-
she was doing. Because, I mean...
Yeah, because as soon as she got in the ring, because it was a team of faces and a team of heels, and as soon as she got in there, like, they all rallied around her.
Yeah.
And that, you know, in the backstory, that could be something that she never experienced, you know? And that's why she broke down, because, like, all of them just put aside their differences, and they're like, okay, we're here to take you down if you go apeshit on us.
Yeah, it's like my whole thought was like I thought that basically that she was gonna try and like lull her into like a false sense of security,
It's a
and
trap.
maybe that will progress over the weeks,
Definitely.
you know. But
I'm gonna give
yeah,
it a little
She's
time.
ruined.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mark
and
my
at least
words,
it's,
2
I'll
months,
say this.
Awesome Kong jobbing or out of WWE.
I'll say this though. At
future
least it's something
endeavored.
different than her coming to the ring and beating a girl up. Because I'm sorry, it gets kind of. I enjoy it, but it gets kind of like, okay, so what more do you have for her besides her beating up everyone?
Well, I thought they were pushing the thing again with her against Kelly, but that then did not happen.
Well, she hasn't even had an official match yet.
No. No, she just comes in and beats
Which
people
makes
up.
me believe that this isn't over by a long shot.
No,
Which,
no.
well, the thing is, she is. What I don't know if WWE knows this or not. She is the biggest thing the Divas have. Like,
the
okay,
only
during
thing
the
the Divas
during the SmackDown taping
Literally.
last.
Oh, she's a big girl.
Guys, let him finish. Hey,
No,
guys,
no, no.
guys, let him
during,
finish.
During the SmackDown tapings I went to 2 weeks or not 2 weeks ago, a week ago, there were 2 Divas matches. One of them was a dark match. Through both of the Divas matches, everyone was chanting, "We want Karma." Everyone. And part of that's a good thing, and you know, part of that kind of hurts the Divas. But I think at least people are interested in not taking that time to take a piss break. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is always done. It's like, oh, piss break match. It's Eve versus the Bellas or something. You know, this,
Luckily, the girls have stepped up their ring work, so now it's not like they're going to get legitly injured by this actual wrestler.
yeah. Because I'm looking at the people around there, and most of them came from the Divas search. But I don't know. At least we don't have Michael Cole crapping on Divas matches. That didn't happen one bit. You know.
I love the fact that now that Michael Cole is going back to being an announcer, he's going to do the opposite of all he's done when he was a heel.
So
As
help
soon
me
as,
out.
the,
Now,
as soon as the Divas comes out, he's like, "I'm so excited for this Divas match. This is going to be such an awesome match."
Was there any kind of preface to that? Because I'm sorry, I didn't get because everything going on. I didn't get a chance to watch all Raw last night. I came in halfway through and heard like the Divas stuff. Was there any preface to that? Was there anything at the beginning that said, "Cole, you have to be nice now"? Or was
Cole came out and apologized to Jerry Lawler. He apologized to Josh Matthews.
Yeah.
He
He's
like,
apologized
"I just
to
wanna do
everyone in
my
the back.
job."
He apologized to all the fans for how he'd been acting.
Yeah, he said he
and
just
like how
wanted.
it wasn't about him, it was about the in-ring competitors.
Yeah, he said he just wanted to announce again.
good?
Yeah.
Good.
Which I'm fine.
That's a
You know,
good
people say,
turnaround.
"Oh, he should have been a manager." I'm cool with it. At least it's not hurting the commentary.
It was a good
anymore.
finish to all that. I think it was fun with that. Hey, I want to get into more of this discussion about the pay-per-view, about Raw and everything, but we do want to get into our indie minute so we can get right back from our segment.
Minute.
What?
I said indie minute.
What? Do we not have an indie minute this
No,
week,
no,
sir?
we do. Oh, we have an indie minute.
Okay.
This
So
better
why
be
do you
just a
like
minute.
3.5
I got shit
minutes?
to talk
We should
about.
give WrestleFan like additional props. He's graduating from high school and he's still finding time to put together an indie minute for our paltry little show here.
Fantastic. Now that he's graduated, we
Wait,
can get an indie
poultry?
2 minutes.
Yeah, it better be in 5 minutes.
Oh,
That's right.
no, fuck
Indie
it.
Ready,
gay.
set,
Fuck that.
go.
Let's do it.
Well, the biggest news coming out from this week, for those that did not hear, announced at their past events this weekend, ROH has been sold
Yes.
to Sinclair It's Sinclair.
Sinclair Broadcasting Group. Who owns
I was about to say Sinclair, never mind.
Yeah, so real quick, they own, just for the three people, the five of us here. There's three here in Lunchbox, so that's four. I can't do math. I can't be bothered to count.
It's okay. It's okay. You counted my dick. It's an honest mistake.
That is fair. So, just for Lunchbox's Dick's reference, Sinclair Broadcasting Group owns the My Pittsburgh TV
interested.
and Fox affiliate in Pittsburgh.
No kidding. Well,
Yes.
and now Ring of Honor is a Philly company for the most part.
Same in San Antonio. So in a couple months, I will be getting them as well.
So Ring of Honor is going to be owned. They're owned by Sinclair Broadcasting Group. They are going to be providing shows for Sinclair, which means they're going to effectively get network airtime.
Now, with Sinclair, you say Fox 53 here in Pittsburgh,
And
PGH. What do they own over there in your neck of the woods at Corpus Christi?
It's some Fox and CW.
Okay, so
affiliate.
it is like this Fox, because like my network's
own
kind of
like
like a Fox-ish
Yeah.
network.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, my Pittsburgh or the My TV thing was like what happened to the CW. It was like My TV. CW
officially,
or
I think
something.
UPN and WB joined to be CW.
Yeah.
And then the network in the neighborhood that didn't get CW
Got
latched
My.
on to My.
Yeah.
Which I think is as a
Also,
network.
it's worth mentioning. I'm sorry.
I think it's a spinoff of Fox in a way.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Okay. Sorry, LB.
They do have broadcasting in, I think, like 30, 35 different states.
Yeah, they're around. LB, what were you saying there?
It's worth mentioning that was the network, at least here. No, that was the international network that ran SmackDown. It was My Network TV.
No, in general, it did. Yeah. Because it went from wherever it was to My Network into Sci-Fi. Yeah, definitely.
Now,
So-
here's the really funny part. As of today, including today's trading, Sinclair Broadcasting Group, as a result of this purchase, their stock is down 9% in 2 days.
as a result of this purchase.
Yes.
Okay. Was it because it got booted by HDNet? You think?
No, they are
Stigma of wrestling.
one, the stigma of wrestling, and
Okay.
two, there are a lot of people who feel like Sinclair Broadcasting Group needs to focus more on just their affiliates and building up their advertising money and not trying to build their own content. There are a lot of people who think this is a good call and they should be branching out into building their own content.
There's no question that wrestling is a solid thing to bank on because of the ratings. I mean, Raw is a perfect example of that. If you do it right, I mean, TNA as a show on Spike, as much as we complain about it, Spike is more than happy for the ratings. We kind of say, oh, it's
Right.
a paltry 1-2 or something. That is really good for a cable network like that.
Well,
Not,
here's-
the Raw, if we're going to go back to Monday Night Raw is an anomaly, okay?
Yeah.
As far as that. They have
Well-
a tenure of how many years? They got to be creeping on 20 years now, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So to start
They're
up
about
a
15
show,
years in.
it's
15,
going to
16
be
years in, so.
very, very rare that you get anything even close to that. And a 1-2 is good in the long run for that. You know,
Right.
I know everybody craps it in the wrestling community, and Riz's completely legal chat rooms. But I mean, let's be honest. You know, as much as we hate it, you know, Impact's doing pretty well for itself.
Sinclair does not have anything in New York City, so once again,
Sorry,
Mad
Mad
Mike
Mike.
doesn't get to watch ROH.
Mad Mike doesn't get to watch indie wrestling, but Sinclair,
Freaky will be a little happy.
but Sinclair, as part of this deal, is going to put the shows live streaming on their website
Nice. Now,
Yes.
and also, I believe
and for free. So, Mad Mike,
Okay.
you can afford this.
I do believe SmackDown in places where there weren't My Network TV, SmackDown was syndicated on other local networks.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't?
Not in Erie.
Really?
Erie didn't have
Okay,
SmackDown.
not
for
all of them. Not all of them. But
It
I
might
think
have
some.
been.
I think it was an opportunity.
It might have been, but I know for a fact that my brother living in Erie didn't get to see SmackDown for like 2 years
yeah.
because it just wasn't on TV. He didn't get my whatever TV. He had the CW. And when they moved from the CW over to my TV, he's like, I'm losing SmackDown. I don't get to watch SmackDown
That
anymore.
sucks. Yeah.
So I just have to follow
And
the
it hurt,
spoilers.
it hurt them for a while, and I think that's why they went to cable. They probably get more houses out of Sci-Fi than they did ever for My Network.
Oh, yeah, I'm certain.
So
I'm certain of it.
I'm sure it's over the air, but still, you know. And also notice that SmackDown's completely on YouTube and Hulu now, along with that. So
True.
And it still gets less views than Zack
So
Ryder.
I think this is a step up.
Mhm.
I think this is a step up from where they were on HDNet.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, it has to be.
And I guess I know here in Pittsburgh, the Fox and my TV channels are both in HD.
Yes, they are.
So
here.
Pittsburgh will get HD if they shoot in HD.
Well, it
Kevin
depends.
Kelly is being brought on as the announcer.
Good.
I don't know if Lagana is involved.
No, well, Lagana's involved with Ring of Honor in general.
Right.
Like he is he was the producer for the TV show, and he helps with their social media and
So
stuff.
I'm certain that he'll be involved in some way, form, or fashion with that. And if you haven't, go listen to the I Want Wrestling podcast.
Yes,
The formerly creative ones are
really good stuff.
fantastic. If you like us, go listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
But listen to us first,
Don't go away yet.
Yes,
and buy the
exactly.
app.
Yes.
Like us on Facebook, and
And like him too.
And take care, spike your
seriously.
hair.
He's got good stuff. He's talking to former writers. He did an experiment recently, a few weeks ago, where it was Monday Night Raw, and he was sitting there. He had Krista Joseph, Big Dick Johnson, and another
Yep.
writer. And on the commercials for Raw, he turned off the mute, and they bullshitted about what was going on Ustream, I think. That was it was interesting. Eventually, it turned into just kind of a drunken schmoz, but other than that, I mean, it was interesting to get their intakes. I don't know if I'd listen to it every week, but he's experimenting.
yeah, I really like the talks that they do with the former writers and the stories and the things that come about and the man, why did we do that? Or oh man, this was going to be really really good and got shot down, and that's
I love the inside thing, and it gives you a real. It's not like a bunch of people. I think they're doing this. We know guys do this. You know, the feeling in wrestling is a lot of the things we see on the dirt sheets, and that when I ever see that, it's like okay, complete BS. You're just kind of whatever you think might be happening.
Right.
But that's actually he was a writer. He was there. He knows what's going on. He's talking to other writers, talking to wrestlers that he's worked with.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, if you haven't listened to the MVP interview that they did, go listen to that after this.
And check out, and of course, a few episodes ago, we did talk to Dave Lagana of I Want Wrestling. Really good interview.
Yeah, that was a great interview.
We're going to have to see about getting him back on, because we had a lot of fun with that. And with the Spring of Honor stuff, I'd love to talk to him again about how that's going.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot of stuff we wanted to touch on with him.
So more indie wrestling, go.
More indie wrestling. As we talked about on the Wrestling Mayhem show, the Todd Pettengill Invitational Tournament was this past weekend for AIW. Friend of the show, Shima Zion, winning the tournament.
Nice.
So congratulations to him. I heard it was a great event.
Wait, does that mean Shima Zion is the official Todd Pettengill champion?
Todd Pettengill champion. That's
Chad Pettengill.
You heard it here first, folks. But I heard it was a great event all around, both nights. I think the DVD will be coming out soon on AIWrestling.com. But the bigger news to come from...
It usually takes a couple weeks, sorry.
Usually, yeah. After a couple weeks, and it'll hopefully be up. But the biggest news coming from that event, we have big news for a friend of the show. Their big event, AIW, every year is Absolution 6, which will be in, I believe, Lakewood, Ohio, in the month of June. One of the matches have already been announced. Friend of the show, Michael the Bomber Facade, will be going one-on-one with the homicidal, suicidal, genocidal Sabu.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's actually, you know what? Where are you getting this from? Because it's not on the site. Because I actually have two other
I was
matches
told that it was announced at the Todd Pettengill tournament.
the thing. Because we have two matches announced there. Friend of the show,
Scroll down.
Johnny Gargano. That's where it is. Johnny Gargano versus Tim Donst for the Absolute title. And Marion Fontaine, who's tremendous, against another friend of the show, Shima Zion, in an intense title match. So that is the show.
Double title match, because it will be the intense title against the Todd Pettengill title.
Oh, excellent.
As according to me, not according to AIW.
This is
How
the
is
show.
Sabu not dead yet?
Yeah, seriously. Now, this is the show that we attended this last year, but didn't go to the AIW show. But they do a double header with Shikara at the one time of the year they come to Ohio.
Oh my god, the Chikara show
back to
looks
back
great. I'm so
with
pissed that I won't be up
AIW.
there.
Yeah, I think
Get
we're
on a
going to
plane,
this.
son.
Yeah. I think
Have you
this is
heard of
happening.
these things? They're called airplanes. Get on one. Fly
Mega
here.
bus.
There's a song.
Yo,
about
mega
it.
bus from Texas.
Yeah, that'll happen. But yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna hit up for that and see if we can bring some stuff for the show. What the hell are you doing?
Mega bus music.
That's a music for
Megabus
Megabus? Is there? I didn't know Megabus had a theme.
No, I just made that
I
up.
think
That's
the
something that
theme
plays
is
the
your
entire
brain.
time.
Sorg,
in the
that's
Megabus.
classic traveling music.
Okay.
Right now,
WrestleFan,
right
go
now,
back to is there anything else here?
And the final news, friends over at IWC, there's a big event coming up this week.
Yes,
And
there is this Friday.
Road to Super Indy 10 on the 27th at Core Time Sports Center in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania.
Is that kind of like
the
the
main
road to
event-
WrestleMania, but way smaller?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Basically.
It's like
Now-
a dirt road, not like a double lane highway. It's kind of like that.
Now, Super Indy is like the biggest tournament in the area. I mean, it's a pretty serious deal. It's
Not 70,000.
70,000.
I'm just saying.
It's indie
Leveling.
wrestling, man.
Yeah, I know.
What do you
I
want?
know.
mean, come on. There's King of Trios
If
and
they were
there's
putting
indie
up
wrestling,
70,000,
you're lucky
it
if you
wouldn't
get
be indie
70.
wrestling anymore.
That's right. They would be getting a deal with Sinclair Media, not the
Maybe
other
they
ones.
should.
Are they bringing back IWC Ignition?
IWC Ignition back on TV. Let's make it happen. Let's petition them to bring back Ignition.
They need to bring back that one song that Adrenaline Rush, Adrenaline Rush.
Is that on them? Well, I guess everybody had that at the time. Anyways, WrestleFan, what's going
Shit,
on?
man,
with
we
IWC?
used that.
You didn't.
Drop that
Main
AOM
event will be
report
for the IWC World Heavyweight title as John McChesney takes on Super Indie Champion Super Hentai and Shima Zion in a three-way match.
Shima
As well
Zion
as a-
gets
He
around.
does. With the
He's-
ladies.
He does it big. Marshall the Bull Gambino will take on Bubba the Bulldog.
Oh, the
in a
Bulldog,
grudge
announcer for the
match.
Pittsburgh Power.
Hell yeah.
Is that actually Bubba?
Yeah.
The Bulldog.
Oh my god, I
Bubba
hope he
fan.
gets beaten with a chair. I hate that guy.
It might
I
happen.
hate him. I hate him on a far more like regular person level, not actual indie character level. I just hate that guy.
Also, the IWC tag team titles of Flippin' Ain't Easy, Michael Facade and Jason Gorey, taking on the founding fathers of Dennis Gregory, the Bum, and Jimmy Vega $. And then two Super Indie 10 qualifying matches as Ricky Reyes takes on Michael Elgin, who's been making his name over in Ring of
Ricky
Honor.
Reyes.
I believe that's Michael Elgin.
Elgin, what'd I say?
Elgin.
Michael Elk name.
Michael, weird name. But he's been making his name in Ring of Honor as a member of the House of Truth
Okay.
with Truth Martini.
Okay.
And then another Super Indie qualifying match from the show, Justin Idle taking on Adam Cole, who's been making his name in Ring of Honor as well as CZW. He's the current CZW Junior Heavyweight Champion, so that's definitely going to be a great match. And then also 4 more entrants for Super Indie 10 will be announced at that event. That's May 27th. If you want to go to Super Indie,
This is
it'll
Friday.
be June 18th in Court Times in Elizabeth. Already announced, including those 2 qualifying matches. Whoever is the Super Indie champion going into that event will be participating, as well as Michael Facade, Jason Gorey, and Pinky Sanchez. So keep an eye out on that for at IWCWrestling.com. And the last thing I want to mention, I'm going to run through this really quickly. Something that was brought to my attention today.
You have
Bubba the Bulldog, as we mentioned before, the director of wrestling operations in IWC, the new director, has been making some enemies as of late with Chuck Roberts, friend of the show and man of action, and multiple time friend / co-host of the show, Delicious Jimmy DeMarco. It was posted on the IWC website that Jimmy D sent Bubba a letter listing demands on because basically Bubba the Bulldog refuses for DeMarco to appear at any IWC events after being retired by John McChesney back in December. And I think this is worth reading because we all know Jimmy DeMarco. We all know how crazy that the delicious one is.
Yeah, you should see the text he sends me.
Okay, so the message goes as follows. Dear Bubba, after listening to Chuck Roberts tell me for the last 5 months that he can take care of things his way, I've had enough. You have left me with no choice but to handle things my way. Your legal documents and paperwork mean shit to me. Unless you meet the demands I have listed in this letter immediately, I will show up to every single IWC event and squeeze your genitals like a tube of Crest toothpaste. I am not making empty threats so you can go and hire all the extra security you want. It will not matter. I have a perfect record of sneaking into places I am not wanted. They include, but are not limited to, Seven Springs Mountain Resort, Kennywood Amusement Park, Ozfest 2006, Sandcastle Water Park, countless bars, including Bubba's Ugly, aka Ugly's Ugly, and both Mullins Southside and North Shore, and screenings of the feature films Zoolander, Sweet Home Alabama, Shallow Hal, The Bad News Bears, Avatar, and Spider-Man 2.
Can I call timeout?
Yes.
Bad News Bears came out in like 85.
Sorg,
I think it was like 2 at the time.
Sorg,
Yep.
can we bring June DeMarco back next week?
We have to.
Okay, I'm sure you will read this and laugh because you have a huge ego, a tiny brain, and even tinier little penis.
Wait,
But
does
in
that mean
case
we
you-
have a huge ego, tiny penis, and tiny brain?
No, this is directed
I
at
think he's
Bubba.
still talking about Bubba.
We're talking
Bubba
about Bubba in
Bulldog.
particular.
Okay, well, I'm just saying, because we read it and we laughed.
But in case you want to take my offer seriously, here are my demands. I get reinstated immediately and an automatic IWC World Heavyweight title shot against the bitch-ass pussy John McChesney. 7 cases of Bud Light.
Talk that shit.
100 boxes of Swisher Sweets Cherry. A spot as the weatherman on the Star 100.7 morning show.
Which is Bubba's radio show.
Yes.
Oh my god, Jimmy DeMarco calling the weather would make me drive to Pittsburgh to hear that weather report
That's
and
okay.
then come right back
I
home.
hear a report. I just hear him saying reports with a lot of wetness. Blu-ray copies of the feature films Die Hard, Jaws, Jurassic Park, E.T., The Dark Knight, Sweet Home Alabama, The Fast and the Furious, Fast and Furious, XXX,
Triple X.
Triple X, whatever. The Pacifier, A Man Apart, and The Chronicles of Riddick.
Holy Riddick.
Or Riddick.
Wow.
Wow. How do
Wrestle
you
fan
not?
doesn't know what Triple
Man,
X
he
is.
likes
I feel really
he likes
fucking
some
old.
Vin Diesel movies
Wrestle
up here.
fan doesn't know who Vin Diesel is.
No, apparently not.
He was the bald guy that wasn't The Rock in that movie you see on Raw.
Oh, I don't care who he is then. The cell phone number of Jimmy Vegas. 5 cartons of Camel Light 100s. A gallon of baby oil. 12 packages of Fusion razor blades.
Smart man.
2 bottles of Jack Daniels. 3 bottles of tequila, any brand but not bottom shelf. 1 bottle of Triple Sec. 6 bottles of Banker's Club vodka.
Oh,
He's not done.
oh.
Oh God.
Season tickets for the 2011 Steelers season. $50 gift cards to Subway, Little Caesars, Giant Eagle, Best Buy, TGI Fridays, and Home Depot.
You know, get those fuel perks.
Of course.
If you
Shit,
meet
man,
these-
I can get you those season tickets. Done.
if you meet these demands, then I will not show up on May 27th and squeeze your penis like I'm wringing out a wet towel. I don't take anything laying down unless D cups are involved. And let me clarify, the D cups must be on a woman, in case you are thinking about bribing me with the ample breasts of Dean Radford. Meet my demands, and we can go about business as usual. Fuck with me and pay the price. Sincerely, James T. DeMarco.
No, wait.
Incredible.
I have a quick question. Does the T stand for Tiberius?
No, the T stands for testosterone.
Ah,
Wow.
Okay.
He knows his Jimmy DeMarco facts.
well played, Wrestle fans.
Didn't he say at one time he's making a movie with someone, I forgot who, but it was E.T. extra testosterone?
Awesome. And
Yeah,
that
they were
is-
remaking Mac and Me.
Is that the end of the indie report, sir?
Well, there is one more quick thing, and
no.
that no, this is
That's
not.
far more than a minute,
Yeah.
young man. I am proud.
Drop that
Really,
AON shit on him.
I didn't realize. Bobby F. J. Town
Yes, he did.
sent in the
Louis
AOL.
Anderson.
Oh.
You leave my friend Bobby alone, God damn it! Drop that AON shit.
Hey guys, Cass Edison was interviewed by Samantha Sanders Esquire regarding the murder of the broker and Alex O'Norway. Great quote was when he said, "I'm not going to character assassinate the broker, ... And actually, I didn't regular assassinate him either."
Wow.
Spotlight match of the week.
Let's go.
Spotlight match of the week. Marcus the Nomad Cage versus Shane Malice. Malice hits a suplex and then hits Count Yo Teeth for the win in a squash. Mike Edwards interviewed ISP. He said Emily Carmichael is fine and sitting with her friend Bam Bam Hassel. He asked when they plan on releasing her, and ISP just laughs and say they have no intentions of letting Emily go. He says that Cass should be afraid of the cartel.
So
he says he's going to take Cass and kidnap him personally and hold him in the dungeon.
So wait, hold on, time out. They are now announcing crimes they're doing. They haven't done them yet. So they're saying, look, we're going to kidnap this motherfucker too. We're going to hold them captive. And then what are you going to do? Johnstown?
This starting to get way too complicated.
Their names are the cartels. So.
That's true.
Well, yes, they are a cartel, and I'm certain that they do devious things all the time, but for the love of God, you don't announce your crimes before you do them unless you're some sort of supervillain.
Well, you know,
Maybe
it could be like in Watchmen, where they detail all the plans, and then as soon as someone goes to stop them, oh, I just did that 29 minutes ago.
Blue junk. Continue.
Okay. They told him he was going to be sitting in the back of the building and was not to be involved in the match of the cartel versus the psychotic assassins. ISP says, compares himself to Rosa Parks and says he sits in the back of nothing.
Hey,
this is on TV like this?
Everybody
Apparently.
Is this public access? Because shit.
Yo, there's apparently a show in Pittsburgh that tops that one. Also, we'll save that one for gold. I'll tell you about it.
All right.
So buy the app, damn it.
He also posted a promo from Colin Blair. I don't know if we can include that. I don't know if we have the technology for it.
We don't have the video technology for it right now. Let me see if...
No.
We'll tweet
Well,
out the
I would
link.
put it on the site, Sorg.
We're going to tweet out the link right now so you
Put
guys can
that
check
son
it out.
bitch on the site.
Okay, I will. Sure.
Sorry, I
we'll
didn't
do
mean
something with that. Thanks for
that was really
I'll
demanding.
meet your
I'm sorry.
demands, WrestleFan. Has that been the
And that
Indie
has
Minutes?
been your indie half an hour for this week.
Fantastic. Thank
And
you.
Thundercup, June 24th and 25th. Thank you, Bob.
There you go. There you go. Wow, that has been amazing first half. Here's a little snippet of gold. What else is going on in the Sorgatron Media universe? And we will be right back.
Also, Bubba is just a hateful human being. Fuck him. So, fuck that guy.
We've had Bubba on the show before.
Yeah, he was very nice to us.
I'm sure he was. Question, how the fuck...
Dude, 360s are worth it.
How does Bob Backlund get 2 pages?
Bob Backlund,
Bob Backlund has 6-year title run.
Yeah. Never get that down here. What is that? It is everywhere.
It's like right there.
That's it. I'm taking my pants off.
Somebody take a shower?
I'm getting awesome. You're getting awesome.
For unlimited 4G, I want, 4G.
am one of her little monsters
I want to put this out
as I
there.
vomit in my mouth.
This is about as close to a Nexus as you can get without actually going and buying a Nexus device.
Yeah. Okay. You can check us out at awesomecast.com.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I said I'ma crush it. Call me the golden boy.
We bring you the news and events from our area nonprofits and also the good things that you do to make our community a better place to live. You can find more episodes and our Unsung Uncut series on pittsburghonvideo.org.
Hey, we're back. Wrestling Mayhem Show. Sorgatron.
We be back.
Yeah, we be back.
Ooh,
AJ's
yeah,
still
we're
here.
back, bitches, yeah.
We got something macho going on. Well, we didn't really get too into. There's a lone microphone. We didn't get too into it the first half. But Macho Man Randy Savage passed on Friday, I believe.
R.I.P.
It was a heart attack. He was driving, wrecked into a tree. I think he had passengers, but they're all right.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
his
passenger was
He was
his,
driving with his wife.
he was driving
Yeah.
with his wife. Okay, well, she just married last year. I found a childhood sweetheart that he married.
Yeah,
So,
there were 2 articles that came out after this.
mhm.
One was the Sports Illustrated article about how he really wanted to be a baseball player.
Yeah.
And like the minor league story of Randy Savage. And then Bill Simmons wrote a great piece today about.
He's the one that did the Miz interview that you told me to listen
And
to.
the Shawn Michaels interview.
I haven't listened to the Shawn Michaels one yet.
I haven't either. But he did a piece on Randy Savage and how Randy Savage was like, how Randy Savage changed the game all the way through.
Mm-hmm.
And how it was like, how he snuck off from like some college dance, and how he and his roommate watched the split of the Mega Powers. And then like, his roommate's like date showed up at the door, and he goes, needless to say, neither one of us got any that night, but it was worth it. And he did it, and it was both articles are really good. If you haven't read them, go find them.
A lot of great pictures here of old back in the day Randy Savage, including the more recent one pics as you're seeing if you're on the video. There he is in the Bolt premiere where he was a voice in the movie Bolt.
Yeah, he started doing a lot of voiceover.
He did a lot of voiceover work. I know.
He was in Dexter's Lab.
He popped up in a lot of Nickelodeon shows. I know.
He was basically the voice of any wrestler in an animated series.
Yeah, he was.
Because to me, and to many of the people who are, and to basically all of us, if somebody needed a wrestling character, they got Randy Savage to do the voice.
It's Hulk Hogan or Randy Savage, really. And Randy Savage wasn't doing much else. He's trying to do a more acting-based career and everything. So, why not? So.
And actually, something I found that was on the internet done a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was when WCW was still around. IGN actually had a sit-down interview with Randy Savage.
Really?
Very, very cool. It was after he was done with wrestling, with WCW and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a really good sit-down interview. It was probably about 10, 15 minutes. If you just look up like IGN Macho Man interview, I'm sure it'll come up on YouTube.
Sure thing. I mean, and there's been a lot.
Actually, the Bolt premiere was the first time we got to see Macho Man without his beard.
Yes.
Dyed. He's a big Santa Claus Macho Man.
Yes.
Santa Mach.
But there's been a lot of great stuff. A lot of I think more than anybody. I think somebody's gonna call. Somebody answer that phone.
We have a call from our anonymous general manager.
That's right.
Well, there was also the and then this weekend at Over the Limit, Wade Barrett went up top.
Did he?
And did a top rope elbow drop, and CM Punk went up top and
CM
went
Punk
up like
even
this.
twirled his finger.
He even twirled the finger.
Mm-hmm.
And you know
And
what?
he had
For all the shit
awesome,
we give them,
awesome
the
tights on
Bella
one day.
Twins had Macho Man robes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Bella
Yeah,
Twins
to a
had
degree.
Macho Man style robes, and I believe one of them even did a spin in the entrance ramp.
Good stuff. I mean, he was one of the ones. He was one of the ones that definitely stuck with you. Aside from Hulk Hogan, and here's one of the pictures from SI of his baseball days.
Yeah.
But he was the guy. He was the guy that's I ate up all of it with him and Warrior, Macho King, the wedding. All through that. He's one of those guys I was excited to see in WCW and everything.
I don't know
back when I watched that.
I don't know if I'm sorry if I
No, go ahead.
I don't know if he was I don't know if he was the first, but Bill Simmons mentioned that he was one of the first to have a female manager.
Yes.
And Miss Elizabeth was like the hottest thing going in '85.
Well,
I don't think he was the first though, because I think
I don't think. Yeah,
I know
he
he
was the
wasn't.
first.
I know he
I know it was
wasn't.
the first.
He was the
remember,
first ever
I think
real
Sensational Sherry did some work before Elizabeth, so
Okay.
not with Macho
also,
Man.
you have girls
but-
like Precious, Baby Doll.
Yeah.
Well, Elizabeth came before.
There were a few others too.
Wait, no, not Precious. I'm sorry.
Wendy Richter.
Was she a manager so much as she was a wrestler?
I just like saying her name.
Are we just talking about WWF though?
No.
I'm sure.
Well,
but
in
I think,
WWF, she was the first women female
right,
man.
and
Well,
I think that's the big.
yeah.
I think that's the big distinction here because WWF, now WWE, because I don't want to get sued by Vince or the World Wildlife Fund or fucking pandas. But
Fucking pandas.
I think he was
pandas.
that was the first that people saw,
Mm-hmm.
unless they were into their territorial show. He was the first that you saw on TV.
Yeah, only because of the exposure to WWF at. But
Yes,
like
yes.
Precious and Baby Doll were in NWA, I think before Elizabeth. But not much before,
I remember
and
seeing-
they didn't have nearly as big of an impact as
Wrestle-
Elizabeth did.
I
WrestleFan?
remember seeing Sensational Sherry managing. I think who was wait, no, Buddy Rose wasn't the original Nature Boy, right?
I thought he was.
Buddy Rogers.
Yeah.
Buddy Rogers.
Buddy
yeah.
Rogers. I'm thinking of Buddy Rogers. I think she managed Buddy Rogers in like early '80s.
That doesn't seem right. Buddy Rogers is old.
I don't think so. Sir.
Way older.
I may have it's either I remember seeing a clip of something.
It's probably Playboy Buddy Rose, not Nature Boy Buddy Rogers.
Mhm.
There we go. Playboy. It's probably Playboy Buddy Rose.
The encyclopedic knowledge of Mad Mike shines through a game.
And the
There you go.
encyclopedic knowledge of WrestleFan.
But either way, I mean, and then there was it was pretty rough.
Yeah, there were a lot of good things.
Yeah.
Specifically,
You know, a lot of people.
the one that came out this weekend that I probably saw 150 fucking times was the Macho Man dropping the elbow on Jesus, and that's why the rapture didn't happen.
Well,
Yes.
I must have
full
seen-
disclosure. I tweeted that picture from my fake Macho Man Twitter account. It got about 90-something retweets.
Not bad. But yeah, I saw that picture. It was like, oh man, now I know what happened to the rapture, and it's Macho Man dropping the elbow, and I'm
Yeah,
like, yes.
Where's Randy Savage had a lot of that stuff. It was
Such a good sight.
it is so
by the way,
good.
CM Punk, when he came out,
Yeah,
dropped when he was at the top of the ramp, he said "dig it" on his way down.
nice.
Like CM Punk is he's got like he's so old school
yeah.
that like when he drops shit like that, unless you're listening real carefully, you don't hear it, or it's just for people who know.
He came. Didn't he last night? He came out in old
his-
school Macho Man
Yes.
Star shorts.
Yeah, the Macho Man colors.
His tights
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
night were tremendous.
Yeah.
I didn't see Raw last night.
No, yeah, I only
He
saw
came out.
parts
He
of
came
it
out in
myself.
the pink and yellow.
Yeah,
well, not
he came out in
pink-
old school Macho Man tights, like the ones from WWE All Stars.
Nice.
It was the ones from
Amazing.
I think WrestleMania 2 when he had that match with
George
George
Steele.
Steele.
Steamboat.
Mm-hmm.
No,
But-
Steamboat was 3.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that whole like the Simmons article does a really good job of framing a lot of his basically his peak.
What's the fellow's name again?
Bill Simmons.
Bill
Simmons.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I keep forgetting it.
and it's a
On the
go ahead, Lush.
I'm sorry. On the topic of internet Macho Man pictures, my friend gets bored at work a lot and he asks for ideas for drawings, and I requested Macho Man riding a raptor, and you can find that over at at Mayhem Show on Twitter. Great picture.
I'll try to bring that up here. Fantastic. And actually, that spins off a little bit. There was an interesting comment about. There was actually some talk over this weekend. There was Hulk Hogan versus The Voice on HDNet. There's a great interview with The Voice. He was an MMA announcer. I can't remember his real name. He's an Australian guy.
Yeah,
Bruce Buffer.
Over on iwantwrestling.com. No, not Bruce Buffer. But go check that out. And it's on YouTube if you don't have HD now. You're going to find it on YouTube. Come on. But it's a really good interview with him. Really interesting with Hogan. And he comments on, you kind of see the pain in his eyes. And you really do on that with all the crap he's been through. And it's so sad. And I've had a comment in here for a while about like Hulk Hogan destroying wrestling with all the stupid shit he does, in our childhood and everything. But that's a guy that it kind of shows. He's the guy, the top guy. You can't refute that. He was the guy that built wrestling as a public thing.
Yeah.
As a public mainstream thing. There's no reason why he's like, shouldn't be happy,
Yeah.
But there's a lot of crap that's happened there. But no, he made some mentions of Randy Savage, of course, filmed far before he passed, but played on a broadcast after his death on Friday. But he was talking about a little bit about him, don't think that he'd be nearly as big without Elizabeth. That made the whole thing work, and how paranoid he got at the end. He lived only a few blocks away. If WWE comes to do stuff like they did the All Stars spots for commercials with him, said they had to come to him. You know, there was a lot of weird stuff going on with him towards the end there.
Yeah, I think I think that for the most part, he didn't want the spotlight.
You think
He was?
No. What because on Friday I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Adrian.
That's fine.
On Friday we had a whole huge discussion at work, just basically talking Macho Man all night.
Of course.
And it was kind of funny because we all did different weird shows and we all had a Macho Man match in it, which was odd because we were doing shit from all over. But basically, like from what I heard, when Macho Man was in TNA, he did a one-off thing in TNA. Like it was him, AJ, and Jeff Hardy against Jeff Jarrett, Hall, and Nash.
Yeah, I remember that.
Extremely TNA.
Mhm.
But apparently after that one match, because Savage was supposed to feud for the TNA Heavyweight Championship. That was the original plan going in. But he saw how he looked on TV, and he was not a fan of it, and thus he was the one who didn't go back to TNA.
Mhm.
Wasn't
And isn't
TNA
that rare in this day?
because he was never on a contract there.
Yeah. Which TNA's done weird things with contracts.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
I think that's also why he probably did a lot of voiceover work. If he didn't like the way he looked like on camera, then
It's not
I mean, because
surprising.
people know his voice. He is probably the most iconic voice in wrestling.
At least wrestling. He's up there in the voices that people know. Like if you played a clip of Macho Man Randy Savage, no video at all,
It's iconic.
people would just go, "Oh, it's Macho Man."
Yeah. That's how you always pick them out in those cartoons. Aside another tribute that came around, DDP, Diamond Dallas Page. He's had a pretty
it's
that guy,
DD
that guy.
me.
He's had a video blog for a while. Go look up his Diamond Dallas Page's tribute to Macho Man. Google it, you'll find it. He talks a lot about his experience with Randy Savage, how Randy helped him a lot coming up because it was his interaction in that series of matches they had in WCW that made DDP, and he acknowledges that. And he talks about there was something going around where it was like Thanksgiving. He gave a thank you text to Macho Man, and next time he saw him, like I think Macho was out doing some promotion, etc. And he came back. He's like, I talked to my dad. His dad, of course, his dad was a promoter too.
Right.
His brother Lanny Poffo, the genius, also in wrestling. It's a big family thing. And he says, no people in this business don't do that. And he hugged DDP. And just kind of like he gave the whole story, of course. And it's kind of like a show that like this guy wasn't really personable with anybody.
Right.
As much as he gave respect to like DDP and everything, he never really got back. Maybe it's his demeanor, who knows? But it's one of those guys that he was kind of a wild card for a lot of people, and that's maybe why we don't see him in WWE and everything. Maybe the rumors are true, who knows? But just look up Macho Man rumors in WWE, you'll find that. I don't want to get into it. But I found myself like Sunday night. I just like went down the YouTube rat hole watching clips. I watched all his stuff on I Want Wrestling on his stuff, some of his favorite moments. I just followed the YouTube links, and it's just remembered all of it. It didn't matter if he was in WCW or WWE. I mean, it was all, macho, and it was great.
He is literally, if there was a Mount
Rushmore,
a Mount Rushmore of wrestling, it's Hogan, Macho Man. Those
Flair.
are 1, 2.
Flair, and,
without a doubt.
Flair,
and
and
Vince
then
McMahon, probably.
Spot
Vince.
Vince,
sure, yeah.
Bruno.
Without Vince, there
Maybe.
would have been no Hulk
No.
Hogan.
That's only because we're from Pittsburgh, but yeah, Bruno maybe.
No, it's not just Pittsburgh with Bruno. Bruno's like the guy.
Oh, gotcha.
I mean,
But I think the top 3 are locked up.
mhm.
Hogan, Savage, Flair.
And let's kick out Vince because we're talking wrestlers.
Okay, yeah, all right. Then I'd say Bruno,
Jericho.
Bruno,
Not sure.
or maybe Shawn Michaels.
Jericho.
Actually,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Maybe. It depends on how you look at that era. But what you got there, Mac?
well, I was just saying, like, it's not really a plug, but for anyone who doesn't have the Macho Man DVD that WWE came out with last year,
Mm-hmm.
you really need to get it.
Dude, there's stuff on there I've never seen.
Oh
like
my
that whole
God.
thing.
I
That
was
whole
watching
thing
it again on
when
Friday
they
'cause I was
introduced
just
when they introduced Miss Elizabeth, it was a whole Randy Savage just came to town and who's going to be his manager, and everybody was lined up in the ring. What, Mr. Fuji, Bobby Heenan, the Wizard, and whatever. And then he's like, I got my manager, and here comes Miss Elizabeth. And everybody, it was like this big reveal and big shock. I've never seen that stuff before. Because, all my stuff.
They had a couple months of build.
Yeah.
For who Macho Man's manager would be. Because, like, back in the day, that's what they did. Because there were so many managers, like, when a new guy came in, like, Jesse Ventura would immediately go, like, oh, who's going to manage this guy? You know?
Yeah,
and,
who's going to buy it?
And there'd always be a bidding war and everything like
and
that.
that was
like,
the whole feel, and I love that because everything was for a purse, and everybody was they need a business manager and a voice and everything, and that's the difference why I think we've lost since then, because we don't really know why these people are fighting. There's no they don't even play up the you get the belt, you get the prestige thing as much as well. You gotta get the belt. That's what you gotta do. It's like it's a preconceived fact. You gotta get the belt. That's what everybody wants.
You're there for the championship, but the funniest, and that's something I've always. You're either wrestling for the championship, or you're wrestling for vengeance.
Yeah,
that's it. One of the two. You don't just do it for.
It's
for
not
grins.
about, or it's not even just for competition anymore.
Yeah.
It's really, I mean, that rarity like we saw between Orton and Christian on Sunday night, where there's like a handshake, respect, etc. You don't get that very often, which makes that stronger. Don't get me wrong, but it just really dilutes. We go back to it, just dilutes what's going on with them.
Well, at that point, they brought it back to it being about the belt.
Yes.
At that point, there was no bad blood between Christian and Randy Orton. At that point in time, they were wrestling for one goal and one goal only, and that was the belt.
Well, they made it a big thing, and they made it a big thing for Christian,
right?
They the striving for how many years and everything,
right? But it was still about the belt.
But still, it's just like another championship for Randy. Then, I mean, that's what it feels like,
But instead of the numbers, he's made mention of this before in other angles that the whole purpose is I am a champion, and that is my goal. Is to, if I lose the belt, now my goal is to get it back. When I'm champion, it's to keep it.
And
that's it.
And that's one of those things. And maybe that's just this is what these people get to that point. Like, you get into that main event spot, and that's all your goal really needs to be. It makes writing easier.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not like they didn't do that back in the day.
True.
It's not like that hasn't been a staple of wrestling for basically the last 30 years. I mean, everyone who gets the championship says, I'm Ric Flair, one of the greatest of all time. To be the man, you have to beat the man. And I am the man.
Right.
Okay.
He's basically saying he's the champion's champion. And if you want to be anything in the business, you have to be him.
He was the John Cena of the day, not to kind of belittle Ric Flair in that sense, but yeah, he was the perpetual guy that was always up there with the belt.
No,
had to be beat or had to be beaten.
There's no belittling Ric Flair by saying that at this point in time. No,
it's 1-to-1 in what they're trying to do with the championships and the storylines. It was just on a different scale.
Right.
So
it's just a different generation. That's all.
Yes. What else have we got here? I'm sorry.
So Sorg.
Yes.
I had an idea.
What's that?
Well, we talked about this the other night. So if you follow us on the
at
Twitter,
Sorgatron, at
Chachi Says, at AJMPGH, at WrestleFan 2000, and at Mad Mike 4883, and at DJ Lunchbox, because I'm not leaving LB out.
Thank you.
So I had an idea.
What about his dick?
His dick doesn't have a Twitter account.
does not yet have a Twitter account.
That would be at...
but Chachi's pants do.
Yeah, there's an account. It just never took off because I got lazy.
So this...
You mean your pants got lazy?
Right.
Wink.
Lazy pants.
AJ.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Please, I don't want to go down that rat hole.
Right. So, I had this idea as I was watching Over the Limit on a lovely what's the word I want to say? A screen
Less than
of
legal.
I happened to come across. I came across this. It just happened to appear that I was watching wrestling on Sunday night.
You know what? I think this we can combine conversations that I've been wanting to have for a while. We watched the pay-per-views on streams on the internet.
Yep.
I mean, that happens. We can admit that. Okay.
So,
Yeah, and thank you guys for
The economy sucks.
sending me a better link when I asked for one. Prince.
I didn't see the tweet.
I didn't see it either.
I figured as much.
Yeah, I was on the.
I was barely on Twitter until later.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was on the normal one with the things.
Yeah,
and there's the
yeah.
other. Yeah. Anyways, I'm not giving up my source. Eat it. So here's what Sorg and I came up with, because we were starting to bounce this idea back and forth.
Yeah, I'm going to try to bring up the conversation here.
Would you pay the WWE, because right now the WWE does stream their pay-per-view, so this isn't something that's out of the ordinary.
Yes.
They do it terribly, but they
You
do
can't
it.
do it on a Mac.
You can't watch it on a Mac.
Oh no! What will I do?
One, well,
will turn your
in
audio
addition,
down.
In addition, you can't watch it on a Linux box either. The only thing you can watch a WWE pay-per-view on, or on an iPad, or
And
so
it's
on
with
and so
Windows Media, which I have a technical problem with using because it sucks.
forth. Continue. So
It does suck.
So I mean, the problem here is that the pay-per-view, the legitimate pay-per-view option for the WWE, for lack of a better term, sucks donkey balls.
Yes.
So I came up with an idea, because right now the WWE is always trying to find new ways to get people to buy the pay-per-views. They always want to drag more. They want to get the buy rates. They want to get the big takes from pay-per-view. So my idea here is cut the price for the online stream in half, down to $20 to $25, somewhere in that realm.
Because it is $45
It is
for an
still-
online stream.
That sucks.
And I'm not about to drop that money to see if it sucks.
Right.
You know, it's Windows Media. I've seen when they used to have Windows Media all over WWE.com. Hated it. It was so horrible. Wouldn't run the player wouldn't work half the time.
Right.
It was so bad. So,
So-
I'm not going to drop $45 for that experience.
Right. So you drop it to 20
Okay.
or 25.
You have to introduce people to this technology.
You introduce people to it. And then you could either A, just leave it as that price alone, or B, add in like WWE Classics, because that's also a sign-in thing. And you change the technology of the streaming from this Windows Media nonsense, which is garbage, to either Flash or HTML5. And in that sense, you could watch it on an iPhone, you could watch it on an iPad, you could watch it on an Android tablet, an Android phone, a BlackBerry. You could watch it on pretty much the mobile devices, and two, you could watch it on a PC and not have it be awful. And by doing that, you could get people to actually buy it. I would be far more happy to pay $20 for a pay-per-view online than I would be to go watch it for quote-unquote free at like Buffalo Wild Wings.
Wild Wings or
AJ,
online streams.
There's a problem with that.
Go ahead, Mike.
Oh, sorry. I mean, you've been listening to Lagana's What Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
When did Twitter start up? 2005, 2006?
Oh no, like 7 or 8. Like it was
all right.
No, it's only been
Okay,
like 2 or 3 years.
Like around podcast.
They just got on it now.
Yeah.
I know that they moved slowly.
WWE is not very technologically savvy, and I know just by seeing the stuff that they have at the offices.
Right, I know for a fact that the WWE moves incredibly slowly.
They're a big corporation. They're going to.
Right.
Right. That's nothing.
That's
But
nothing
at
new.
the same time, if you went to Vince and said, "Vince, I got an idea that could help buy rates," he'd be all over that shit. I know that Vince guaranteed doesn't understand the internet, doesn't understand a lick of the internet. He just knows that there are people there.
Listening to Lagana's podcast, like he's not even up on pop culture. You know?
Right. He operates in his own little bubble. But if somebody came to him and pitched him the idea of, hey, if you made the online stream $20, you would get more people to buy it, and we wouldn't have to run around the internet on a pay-per-view night getting people to shut down streams.
Right.
Yeah, cost analysis. And then what else?
You still would. It's not like people wouldn't.
Yes.
Oh
stream.
no, I don't.
going to.
I don't think. But I think that you would get higher buy rates on the online stream.
Or at least you eliminate that experience. Sorry, Chachi, go ahead and I'll get to my point.
Let's put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Over the Limit.
Mm-hmm.
Was it worth $50? Fuck
no.
no,
Nothing is.
not.
Extreme Rules was a great pay-per-view. Not worth $50.
I said this the other night. WrestleMania wasn't worth $50.
No.
So I mean,
WrestleMania wasn't
It's WrestleMania. It's what we look forward to. Royal Rumble, not worth $50.
No.
I was like, and I go back to it. I said this the other night on Twitter in our discussion. I'm not paying $50, $45, $50, whatever, $50 for an online stream, a pay-per-view, whatever, for a 3-hour show of, fake fighting. It's like watching a 3-hour soap opera. It's what it is. Why am I paying? I'm not paying $30 or $50 for a movie.
No.
I mean, okay, there are those other initiatives where they are trying to do that, but it's going to fail. We talked about on the Awesome Cast a few weeks ago. For those, they're trying to do the in between theaters, and when it's released on DVD, you buy it on pay-per-view for, was it $30?
So
Something
like
like
what
that.
hotels do?
Yeah, like what hotels do.
Yeah.
So
But the thing is, and we've seen this is going back into the tech discussion, like we talk about Awesome Cast, iTunes, Netflix, and everything. Can I out you on this, Chachi? You were a big, okay, and another big proponent of streaming, downloading, whatever movies. I mean, you always had shit.
I watched Fast 5 in the comfort of my bedroom opening weekend.
My sister watched Thor, apparently. She was telling me about it. She's not all that technically savvy.
She was not the only one.
Riz brings up an interesting idea that I don't think the WWE will go for. Here's what will help: $20 for one pay-per-view, 40 to 60 for half a year, 60 to 100 for a full year.
Yeah, or do it like NHL Center Ice. I like that too.
I like that idea.
Okay, there's that. Okay, there's an example. Now you subscribe to Netflix,
Right.
And how many legal movies do you watch now?
A lot more than I used to.
No. How many illegal?
Oh,
movies?
Illegal?
Yes.
Not as much as I used
Not
to.
a legal movie.
It's decreased, if not eliminated, for the most part.
Right. In the past 2 months, streaming from my computer, the only movie I illegally watched was Fast 5.
There you go.
That's it.
I think you went to the theater too, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. So that kind of nullifies that.
And it's not...
And we go to the music stuff too.
And technically what I did was not illegal.
Okay.
Because I wasn't providing the content online illegally for someone else to
Yeah, you're a
correct me.
consumer. You weren't
Yeah.
downloading. You weren't
I was
anything.
I found a website where it was available.
If you go by that, technically what we're doing is not illegal either. The sites can get in trouble, of course.
Right.
It's an illegal stream.
We can't get in trouble for watching what someone else is putting on the internet.
Right.
Yet.
I'm
sure someday somebody's trying to push that through.
But I think if you made it some sort of subscription service,
exactly,
it would.
Or
That's
if you
what I'm
made
getting
it,
at.
if you you have to improve the experience online, and then you could do it as a subscription service, like 4 pay-per-views.
Or look at
$100
iTunes. iTunes. We had the music industry. We had Napster. We had LimeWire, and then iTunes came out. 99 cents a song. It made it easy. It made it cheap. Why am I going to bother looking for a stream on views? I think is the thing now. Or downloading.
You know what else might help buy rates? Better stories.
Whoa, that's
that's
not
just
the
saying,
discussion.
You can do all the technical stuff you want. If the storylines are shit, doesn't matter what it costs. People still aren't going to pay for it.
It's still fake wrestling.
We watch the pay-per-views every single month, regardless of storylines.
Yes.
Yeah, but how often do we pay for them?
Rarely.
It has nothing. It has nothing
I
to do
paid
with
for the Royal Rumble because I love the Royal Rumble, and I felt I got my money's worth with the Royal Rumble because I thought it was a damn fine pay-per-view.
Well,
if I had paid for Extreme Rules, I would have thought that was money well spent.
Okay.
Because that was a great pay-per-view. Because it has great matches, it had great storylines going in.
Now,
Over the Limit was an average pay-per-view. not worth the
But
money at all.
for the general person, though, now you're somebody that loves wrestling. They're trying to get these common people. I don't want to say common people in a bad term, but general populace, the wide audience. The general person is like,
These
oh,
proletariats with their NASCAR
like, you're not
and
gonna
their
get-
mud eating.
you're not going to get them to drop those numbers for
Right,
that.
you're not-
And you're competing with free. That's the problem. It's not hard to find those pay-per-views. I mean, it is not hard to find those pay-per-views.
I just have one site that I go to, and they have everything.
Yeah,
every
you
month
find
with
that one
people.
that hasn't gotten shut down by ICE yet. It's good, It's
Let me just say
yes.
that if it were $15 to $20 online to watch the pay-per-view, I'd be more willing to open my wallet.
And that's where we look at iPay-per-views.
Right. And
We're
this
looking
is-
at what's going on with Ring of Honor. We're looking at a whole bunch more. Go Fight Live has a lot of wrestling going on. That Super 8 tournament a few weeks ago was on there. You have hybrid.tv, hybridtv.com, I think it is. They've had, you can get like Chikara and some other stuff on there, some of their DVD
CZW,
releases on streaming for like $5 a pop, or $10 a pop or something. What was it? $20 for two nights of that show on WrestleMania weekend for Ring of Honor?
I don't know if it's 20 for both nights, but it was
like
it's
25 for both.
It's
nights
to
or
that
something
point
like that.
where it was like
15 a night,
I want to
and it
see
was
them.
like 25 for both nights.
I want to see them, but I'm busy usually, and that's the only reason I haven't. But I'm going to drop the $15 to watch that pay-per-view. I'm not going to stream it. I'm not going to. I mean, these are companies that we think are doing good and we want to support. I'm going to drop the $15 for this. Don't watch it free, guys. This is what we say. Where's the wrestling at? We want to support these indies. People right into our show saying talk more about the indies. Go fucking support them, okay? Now, and as opposed, you not WWE dropping $45 for that.
Right, there's a huge difference.
There's a huge difference. If you want to go to where they have enough money, they don't need mine. Whatever your perspective is,
that's just them being cheap. If they use that excuse, you're just fucking cheap.
Yeah,
You know what I wish
WWE
WWE could go back to?
What's that?
Because when I log old shows, they have the commercials for the pay-per-views, and they say how much it is.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when the big 4 pay-per-views, or big 5 back then, were the standard, like, $35, $40, whatever. But all the ones in between were, like, 20.
Yeah, the in your houses and stuff.
Because Over the Limit, that's worth $20.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have dropped $20 for that.
I think they go back to the big 4 concept. It's all diluted, That was another thing we were talking about. I was sitting there, it's like, this feels like, with the titles, like the Capital Punishment coming up next month. Like this month, Over the
Where's
Limit.
the wacky drawing of Barack
By the
Obama?
way, the Capital Punishment
Beware of
vignettes
dog.
where they did the press conference,
Yeah.
that was fucking retarded.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Yeah,
feels
There
like,
was an A for
how
the
do I
idea,
take that
but the
seriously?
execution was,
No,
how
no,
do I
I'm
take
not
that
even giving
seriously
him an A for
versus
that
a Royal
rule.
Rumble versus
You
Hell in a
don't.
Cell, Why? That's not selling me on that. It's goofy as shit. It should be an in your house.
Yep.
It isn't in your house. They're just not calling it in your house.
And they're not
Yeah.
charging as little for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
They're giving us in your house entertainment or in your house entertainment for Royal Rumble or WrestleMania cost.
so they not WrestleMania. They always hype that up. They always pump that up a little bit because it's WrestleMania and it is 4 hours. So you can't compare that on a
Okay,
price point.
WrestleMania or SummerSlam prices.
Or Rumble.
SummerSlam is about the same too.
Yeah,
Rumble, yeah.
yeah. It's just it dilutes the shit out. Look what happened to Survivor Series. It's just another show.
Well, that should change now that Bragging Rights is gone.
Yeah, seriously. We've got to have our 5-on-5 elimination somewhere, right? It's just
Is there even the idea of going back to the Big 5 and eliminating
No,
them
because
monthly? Or doing it every other month?
I wish they would, but I mean that's not going to happen.
Go ahead,
They
Mike.
can't. They can't really.
Why?
Because if you go back to the concept of the Big 5,
is admitting
or
defeat?
Big 4 or whatever, it makes all the other ones seem less important, and it's kind of downplaying your product at this
They are
point.
less important.
Are you
No, but you can't sell a pay-per-view based on the fact that it's less important. The only
Okay.
pay-per-views that WWE builds up as more important are WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. It's not like they downplay Extreme Rules by saying, "Oh, it's the pay-per-view after WrestleMania." They have to keep. It's because, like, they have all of these now, so they have to promote them as much as they possibly can. They can't just say, "Oh, we're gonna have it in your house again," because in your house, just the term alone made it seem like a less important pay-per-view, one that you didn't have to waste your time and money on because it'd be recapped on Raw. That's why they dropped the In Your House name.
And I think it was kind of In Your House. I think In Your House was kind of an experiment to see if they could fly with more pay-per-views too.
Yeah. But
Like-
it
was also to keep up with WCW.
Yeah,
Right.
they were kind of putting pressure on.
But what I'm saying is, you take that and go back to the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania.
You're saying just having the Big Five.
Just those.
Let's have 5
You
pay-per-views.
can't do it
I
anymore.
think.
Why not?
Why not?
Can't do it anymore because of the exposure that the product has. They have 6 to 7 hours of product on TV a week.
Yeah.
You can't do extended feuds like that anymore.
Why
You
not?
can't do it.
Why not? Why can't they scale it back? Is the cow the bag here, and we can't go back to it?
Yeah, you really can't. I mean, because then there's way too much time. It's because the attention spans have gotten a lot shorter. People have gotten used to seeing 3-week builds to things, have a finish at pay-per-view. Maybe it extends to 2.
And, well,
but more often
why
it
can't we
doesn't.
do that on the shows? Why can't we do a feud on the show? It doesn't have to go to a pay-per-view. And then the pay-per-view becomes where the big things happen.
But Sorg, what big things? What big things? You have John Cena and The Miz interacting every week on TV. There are no jobber matches on Raw anymore.
Okay.
There's no jobber matches on SmackDown.
Yeah.
You can't, you have too much interaction between people. Unless you want to take it really old school and have, like, John Cena versus local talent A, and then the next week you have Alberto Del Rio versus local talent A. And the big stars don't interact with each other, because if you watch the old superstars, even the old Raws, major talents did not interact all the time. I'm talking like 93 to 96, stuff like that. Major talents did not interact, because when they did interact, then it was a big deal. But because of the Attitude Era, because of WCW throwing everyone in the ring at the same time, you cannot have that anymore, because people have gotten used
what
to
if you do that?
Used to seeing all the big guys in the ring at the same time interacting.
What if your storylines don't really change that much? I mean, we are still confined to Raws and such, and we are back. Let's say we're back to the Big Fives. Okay, hear me out for a second. We have your SummerSlam. That's where you build up, few feuds for the main event, say, that are longer attention spans. And instead of having the kind of back and forth, and you have the rubber match at SummerSlam on pay-per-views, you have those across several Raws, and it's like, oh, this became a big thing, and everybody got to see that match to want to see the rubber match.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to have the whole thing's going to be a bunch of long-term feuds. But you have those several things. So there's SummerSlam, right? And there's WrestleMania, which WrestleMania's biggest show, you're not changing that, right?
Right.
Then you have, let's say, Survivor Series isn't surviving as a concept. Royal Rumble's going to stick around. That's a big thing. Always has been a big thing. Something you build up to that everybody wants to get into. You don't need to build that for several weeks. You're still doing the same stuff, the same interactions. Let's take it back to one that sticks in my mind. Matt Hardy MVP. Really good feud, I think, right?
They were doing the pizza eating contest and the basketball games.
Yeah. What did we get at the pay-per-views again? Pizza eating contests and basketball games. And then we had the same thing on SmackDown. It wasn't any damn different. Well, you can do that over 6 months between a pay-per-view. It's not going to be that long, obviously. You can do that over several months on the pay-per-view, and nobody's going to care that it's not on a pay-per-view.
See titles change hands on a regular Raw or a regular SmackDown.
Not when you know somebody's in trouble.
When you know somebody's in trouble. Like the Orton Christian thing. That caught people by surprise.
And that's why people, it caught them by surprise, but it was such a negative backlash by everyone, because they're like, come on.
That's retarded internet smarts.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like your average fan, fuck them. I said fuck 'em
your
last
average
time.
fan is an Orton fan more than a Christian fan.
True.
Right, but at the same time, titles don't change hands on on the regular shows as often as they used
you see
to.
it's
But
a
you
rematch
can't do that
it's a
anymore.
John Cena and Miz rematch from last night. Yeah, you're not really expecting a title change. Let's be honest.
But
Well, I mean, they did a couple of years ago with actually it wasn't even it was 2009 I think, where Jericho beat Batista in a cage match on Raw.
Yeah, and he was injured, so they had to get right back fuck off of him the next night.
Right, there was a
No,
lot.
they did
Batista
a bait and
wasn't
switch.
injured.
Yeah, he
no,
was.
no,
that
no,
was,
no,
that
no,
was an
no.
injury.
No, I'm talking when after the Michaels Jericho feud.
Mm-hmm.
When after that Batista beat Jericho for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
The next night on Raw, Jericho won the belt back that night, and Batista
In a
was out of the
cage
title
match?
scene.
And Batista was going for a surgery, and he came back, did WrestleMania, and was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
he came
was
back.
hurt. That's why he
Batista
lost
was not going for surgery.
I'm
Yeah,
He was
almost
on Raw the
positive.
following
Well, anyways,
Are you
it's
talking
a
talking
mute.
about when Jericho beat him in the cage?
Yeah,
It's
And, yeah,
it's
that
a
was
mute
when he was
point
getting
because
surgery.
even at that time, a belt changing hands on a cable show is not something that
yeah.
we're
that,
used to.
That was a
now.
surprise.
And I
By
think
the way,
that's-
that was a surprise, and it doesn't happen.
I honestly think that's a way to build your TV ratings too.
Mm-hmm.
Is throw out the odd title change on a TV show,
Mm-hmm.
on a regular show, because then you get fans who are like, oh shit, I might actually see something.
Hey, you know what was always cool? The TV title, because you knew a title was going to get defended, because it never did on Superstars.
I fully
know?
believe that the Intercontinental and U.S. title should be defended at least every other week.
Right.
You're a
I
mid-card
would like to
title.
point out that they did change the tag titles this week.
Yeah, and do we notice? But yeah, then you don't care about those on pay-per-views too, because it always feels like the filler match, and then they change it the next night on Raw.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
What's that? That makes your pay-per-view feel real fucking important.
I'm throwing. I mean that the
Glad I
match,
spent my $45 to see nothing happen.
the
But you can't have it both ways.
Mm-hmm.
You can't have it where you say you want big stuff on TV, and then when big stuff happens, you complain that it doesn't happen on the pay-per-view.
it's
You
got to
can't
be
have it both ways, Sorg.
it's got to be thrown in there like it's got to be often enough that people will actually tune in because they think that something's going to happen. But at the same time, it's got to be not often enough that people are like, why do I turn in the pay-per-view? They're just going to lose it on Raw.
Well, WWE
That's
wants,
why the only show that has that quality is Raw, because it's
WWE wants it both ways, because they want you to plop $45 down a month, sometimes twice, because I think they're still doing like what 14, 13 pay-per-views a year. And they want their ratings to be up, and they're not changing the formula around. So,
Okay, but
so
WWE
they want their
wants
cake
it always. They want
Yeah.
their cake and they want your cake and
Yeah.
they want to eat both cakes.
at the same time with both of their hands and,
sadly,
another
both
cake
of the
on their
times the
penis
cake
to
is
eat
a lie.
too.
And they want to be
but if
paid
you-
to do it.
If you divide up the new Nexus into CM Punk and Mason Ryan and David Otunga and Michael McGillicuddy, which would you think is more likely to beat Big Show and Kane?
Okay.
I mean that you bought the match for CM Punk and Mason Ryan because they look like a more formidable team against Big Show and Kane.
Uh-huh.
Yet they swerved you the next night on Raw because of shenanigans.
First of all, nobody bought the pay-per-view
You know,
for that match.
no one bought the pay-per-view for that
Of
tag
course.
match. No one.
But still, something on that show should feel special other than that. We're wasting through an hour and a half of a pay-per-view that there's half of our, $22.50 right there, and waiting for the good stuff at the top, and that's been a problem for a long time with them.
Well, all right, but
Because
if
they
you're
haven't-
going to do that, that's been undercard matches for decades.
Okay.
Decades. There's always
I don't know.
bullshit
Wasn't Macho
filler
Man and
matches on
Macho Man and
pay-per-views.
Steamboat
At
was
least
an
2 or
undercard?
3 of them.
Macho Man and Steamboat was an undercard. The Dream Machine breaking up was an undercard match.
Okay, you want to go WrestleMania 3? You only bring up the card and tell you the rest of the bullshit matches that are on WrestleMania 3
I
that
don't know.
didn't
Somebody
mean
was
jack shit?
somebody was just remembering Roddy Piper and Adrian Adonis. Man, there's 4 matches that were really important. That's more than this last Sunday.
that's 4 main events for WrestleMania.
And
Then
sometimes-
you have Billy Jack Haynes and Hercules Hernandez.
Oh, come on. That was a blood.
Hey, that was a
just
great
saying.
match.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah, the Can-Am connection
Shane.
versus Bob Orton and Don Morocco.
Yeah, The Rock, the original Rock. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, you don't remember
that match
Back in
at
the
all.
day. Yeah. I got the collection, man.
Sorg, I'm just saying,
But hey,
Butch Reed and Coco Beware. Come on.
Birdman. Hey.
Yeah, come
Man.
But no, we're getting off on some other arguments here. But
Oh,
I'm
But
just saying,
go on.
every pay-per-view is going to have undercard. You can't make every single match on every single pay-per-view.
And not every pay-per-view is worth $45, is it? And
That's
now
right,
here's the other thing. Now you said you paid $45 for Royal Rumble. Did you sit there in your apartment alone to watch that?
No.
There you go. There's another point. Because who's going to do that? I remember back in the day getting the WCW pay-per-views with my dad. Yeah, and every time I did it alone, I felt really shitty for it afterwards, no matter how good the show was. Because I realized the next bill is going to suck. And I had nobody chipping in on it. But anyways, and that's when it was about $15, $20 less than it is now.
Well, I didn't have anyone chipping in on the pay-per-view.
Well, anyways.
They all food and beer.
But still, most of the people are going to BW3s, they're going to Hooters, they're going to Fox and Hound to watch these things, or they're inviting like 5 to 10 people over to help chip in. Usually. Not your case, of course, Mike. But that's got to be bringing the numbers down, because it's the only way they're going to do it. And then there's these free streams, which,
And
frankly,
plus,
are a
wrestling
competition.
is just not as popular as it was in the 90s.
I don't
We
think...
can face facts.
I
It's not.
don't think that's.
I don't think that's... I mean, yeah, the numbers are down. It's not on the big hype
the
train
pricing.
that it was.
Overall, it's the pricing.
It's the pricing, I think, are driving people away. WWE had their best value in entertainment. Are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah.
Last year, or the year before they ran that?
Yeah, because it was $20 a ticket.
Yeah, $20
That's
a
the best
ticket.
value in
You know what
entertainment.
happened when I said, "Hey, can I get those $20 tickets for Raw at the Console Energy Center?" They're like, "Actually, they're $22." It's like, well, okay, sure,
Well,
buddy.
that's not even-
It says it
isn't
right
that-
there on the
that's
sign.
more- that's more your ticket provider. Not really
But still, yeah, it's always bullshit with that, because
but
how much does Ticketmaster get you? But
I still really think it's not as popular anymore because WWE is the only game in town, and they've been coasting on a lot of their undercard storylines.
UFC plays a role.
WrestleFan, can I finish?
Sorry, go ahead.
Come on,
sorry.
man. I'm just saying, back like when we all bought every single pay-per-view every month because it was working, because it was a given concept. You had live shows every week. You had legitimate competition. You literally didn't know what was going to happen from week in and week out. Now, we can all guess and predict storylines with the best of them because of the internet, because of stuff like backstage leaks and things like that, because of spoilers, because of the business has changed as a whole, because it's less surprising.
Then shouldn't they adapt to that and see in their...
So the answer is the internet has killed wrestling.
Therefore, we should do everything in the same way.
I am really, and we've gone. The internet has killed wrestling, and we've come to this conclusion on our internet wrestling show.
Fuck! Stop watching us!
Wow.
Stop! We're the problem!
You're listening
We're the problem!
You're listening to Wrestling Mayhem Show number 271, the final Wrestling Mayhem Show.
We're not
Wrestling Mayhem
not
Show
the problem
271,
anymore.
We killed wrestling.
Yes.
No, I mean, but it's like the call is coming from inside the house. You know, it's
And
just
don't tune in next week because we
we've
won't
all
be
grown
here.
up with the attitude era.
That's us.
But we wanted to know more about what was going on.
Yeah.
So we started to create,
and they
internet
did it
message
too.
boards,
And you know
wrestling
what?
news
Somebody
sites.
and I apologize. I can't remember who before. I think it was a new face, but somebody said earlier that part of it is a part of like what's changed when I was talking about back in the 80s of the purses and everything. I said part of it is all these guys went out and wrote books about the wrestling and lifted the veil too. So it's not just the internet as far as that goes, because there's a lot of analysis on there.
Okay, that's true. Right,
so you can't
we
say
only
it's
mildly
just
assisted to
wrestling.
the death
It's
of wrestling.
Vince lifting the veil in the 90s because he almost got fucked with the steroid trial. Okay, it's them trying to lift the veil because they couldn't figure out new things because there was a slump in the mid 90s. Okay, it's you know
balls.
it's submitting to reality TV and trying to compete with that, and they moved on that and moved against WCW with that. It's
also trying to compete against UFC, which is legitimate sport.
And that's your competition and how you're going to react as fake fighting.
I will never believe that UFC is legitimate sport anymore.
Then there's another anymore. What happened to shake your?
I believe
faith?
that baseball is just as rigged as wrestling.
Well, that's not true. That's true.
Exactly.
But
no, if baseball was
NASCAR.
rigged, the Yankees would have won the World Series in 2001.
We're not even going to talk
How many
about
years
the
in a row
Yankees.
the Yankees have bought the World Series? Come on.
Chachi,
Yes.
please. What shook your faith in MMA or UFC?
When Ken Shamrock came to the WWE, left WWE, and went back to UFC.
Really?
Yep.
Yes.
That's
when,
your thing?
When Brock Lesnar left the
No.
WWE and
Or-
went to UFC.
How about, did you hear about Paul Heyman is writing promos for some of the MMA guys now?
that just further
Smart. Those
that
guys
just
are idiots.
that just further helps my point.
They have no enthusiasm. Brock Lesnar came in there and said, "Hey, this is how you fucking build for a fight and get people into it. Play the bad guy, get pissed off, yell at the other guy. You know that."
Yeah, and then Brock had to pull out.
He had to pull out. Which reminds me, gotta get LB's mom on here again.
Wow.
I'm sure she'll
No,
be happy
no,
to join
no.
the
Brock Lesnar's sick
Don't you
again.
talk about his mother like that.
No,
She is a
on
nice
the
lady.
show. I'm sorry. Okay. But
Hey,
anyway.
Lunchbox, I hear your mother's going
my
on
mother
Sweet.
is Skype literate, so we can't get her on here.
Oh, Riz, I love that. Internet killed the wrestling star. I am actually gonna.
Oh,
Yeah, that
shitty
is
song.
Internet
But,
killed the wrestling star. Internet killed the wrestling
Okay, we don't have to sing it. Come on. Anyways, does anybody else have any?
Stuff like
AJ,
that.
do you have anything to conclude on for this?
No, I said all my things.
Okay.
We did
I
think
have,
about
I have
South
one last thing to throw in.
LB?
Yeah, okay. So the nature of the business has changed a lot since I don't know, the 90s, since I became a fan of wrestling. And you know what? That's fine. It's the nature of football, the nature of baseball, the nature of the world has changed since I became a wrestling fan. But the point is, at the end of the day, I'm still going to do the Wrestling Mayhem show. I still love wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm interested. I'm so curious to see what happens next. How is Vince going to deal with UFC? Is Vince going to be around forever? You know what I mean? It's fucked up, and the business is, I think, more interesting than ever. So,
Excellent. On that
That's all
point, this has gone so long, we actually can't get to any other stories this week. So, guys, we got to wrap up here. Let's go around the horn. A wrestle fan, what have you learned from wrestling this week?
Well, I learned from this is actually it'll be quick, but it was something. It runs on something that was in the show notes. I learned that TNA is the budding joke of everything.
much.
Everyone jokes with them, including Mick Foley, who I guess he got in a Twitter exchange with The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
The Rock tweeted in the referring to the I Quit match. In the famous I Quit match, I handcuffed Mick Foley and bashed his face 14 times with a steel chair. He bled. I won. Foley responded saying, "Maybe so, but 2 days later, I trapped the Rock under a pallet of beer kegs to win the WWE strap in an empty arena match, aka TNA house show." And this is the guy that's supposed to be the spokesperson for TNA.
He is. He was talking
Well,
about...
no, he's a spokesperson for Spike TV.
He is. Yeah, he was actually on an interview with
Fuck,
BetweenTheRopes.com talking about this move that changed to Impact Wrestling a couple weeks ago and say, well, I really hope that we have a lot of focus on the X division and going into Destination X this year. And of course...
Yeah, a lot of focus. It sure as hell ain't anything good.
Yeah,
Wrestle fan,
they got
you
killed.
need to calm down and at least give them a chance to see if they're going to do the right
shit,
thing.
He took the classes
They're
off.
not.
Macho Mike, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned a couple things. One, I learned that while Stone Cold says he doesn't make mistakes, I think he did on Tough Enough because he made Andy cry with one promo and yet he kept him. I'm sorry.
I have to watch
That's
this.
not cool.
I have to watch this.
He
Okay.
made Andy
Jeremiah.
fucking cry just by mentioning his wife and kids.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
Team Jeremiah.
that's bullshit.
Wow. All right.
And
Team
and
Jeremiah, don't be a pussy and don't be a dipshit.
Well, I don't think he's making the final two anyway. But anyway, I also learned that Macho Man was, I said it before, he was the guy who got me into wrestling because the first thing I saw was Jake Roberts Cobra biting his arm, and he was the first babyface I cheered. He was the first heel I loved, and Macho Man is one of the greatest of all time. Dig it!
LB, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
Shortly, it was a couple days before the Macho Man passed away. I was waiting in a Barnes & Noble for my girlfriend, and I picked up Chris Jericho's new book, new-ish, I guess, Undisputed. And it's a great book, and I read the intro by Mick Foley, which was great, and I read the intro by Zack Ryder, which was great, and I was flipping through the chapters thinking, I can only read a little bit, and I saw the chapter called Benoit, and I thought, well, I've got a little time, I might as well read it. You know, it's got to be interesting. And I read it, and Chris was very heartfelt. The things that he said and the things that he did in regards to the Benoit tragedies, and I thought it was very, very interesting, and it put me in an interesting mood for the rest of the day as well, because it brought back some very emotional memories. It was an emotional time to be a wrestling fan. And then just a few days later, we hear about the Macho Man Randy Savage passing away, and it's two sides of a coin, you know what I mean? Macho Man was a huge star, so was Chris Benoit. And I mean, so was Eddie Guerrero, who Jericho talks about a lot in his book. No matter what happens, when somebody like that, somebody who affected your childhood so much, passes away, you feel it on a very, very deep level. I had so many people come up to me and say, I heard Macho Man passed away, and this, that, and the other. And it wasn't just like, oh, random celebrity died. At least not for me. It was, somebody I grew up with died. It's a lot more, it's a deeper thing than that. And, I guess that's what I learned from wrestling this week, was that, this stuff affects us a little deeper than I think we're willing to admit. So.
I kind of to go with that. I kind of on a solemn note here. I actually my grandmother passed away on Thursday night, actually, and then which hits you hard enough. And Macho Man, I heard about the next day. It was like, not as hard hitting, of course, as your grandmother. So I don't want to make light of that, but it was one of those things. And like you said, that was two figures, that you kind of grow up with, because of love for wrestling. And, my grandmother was just down the road, pretty much was a good part of raising me as well. And one of my ways I kind of coped with it on Friday, and it was my grandma's up there, and I'm running into Macho Man at the gates. And, yeah.
I'm sure they're doing the Mega Powers handshake.
There you go. No. If my other grandmother ran into Macho Man, they would definitely be doing the Mega Powers handshake. Anyways, let's go to the couch here. Chachi, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
What did I learn?
I know you watched the pay-per-view.
I watched the pay-per-view.
AJ, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that the WWE can throw something out there like the recorded I Quit, which was the finish to the Rock Foley match so long ago, and I still remember that.
It's a twist.
What the twist?
Yes.
That Orton and Christian can not have a bad match.
Please have more.
Please have more of that.
That was the best match I've seen from Orton in years.
Well,
he's been doing good stuff lately too, and that
it's the power of the beard, really.
Really,
it's the power of that. It's weird.
It's the Tampa Bay playoff beard.
Why the fuck are you doing that beard, Andy Orton?
Playoff beard.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really liked that pay-per-view because it did what effectively a middle of the road pay-per-view is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Advances a storyline. I'm not sure why they did an I Quit match with Miz and Cena. I guess it was to break that off and keep going.
I think that was an ender for them.
And it was to break up Miz and Riley.
Yeah.
And to break up Miz and Riley.
It progressed a lot of stuff.
It did.
I forgot about Riley.
Yeah, I thought that was a great pay-per-view. And also, I learned that Sin Cara doesn't wrestle under normal lighting.
Yeah, please somebody explain this
Somebody
to me.
turn the lights on.
Hell?
Is it to hide the botches? Because it's
That's
botched.
what I was thinking too.
It didn't work last night.
Oh my god. I'm done. Dear Sin Cara. Okay, it was cool when I saw your highlight reel on friggin' YouTube. But I'm sorry. You can't do a match without at least one botch.
when you're doing all that stuff, I mean, look at the Sabu match. There was...
Yeah, but when, he's being brought in as, this super crazy high flyer guy...
Yeah.
There's a reason he's on SmackDown. So they can edit out a botch.
Mm-hmm.
And he just botches too friggin' much.
I just wonder if it's more of a language barrier thing. Because I mean, dude doesn't speak a lick of English.
For real, legit.
He
Still,
may
he
know
wrestled with Chacha.
headlock.
Okay.
He wrestled with Chavo.
Yeah.
I don't know how much Spanish Chavo still knows.
Well, no, apparently, Sin Cara and Chavo had tremendous matches in Mexico. They probably just have an off night.
That could be.
And actually, the match wasn't that bad until they botched the finish.
Right.
All right. Chach, what did you learn from wrestling this week?
That, yeah, even as a John Cena fan, I wasn't a fan of the I Quit match.
It was a weird match. What did you say? It was like...
It was like Dad hit Mom at the dinner table and everyone just kept eating. That's what it seemed like.
I thought that
it was Daddy hit Mom.
It wasn't, and also
it was just awkward for the longest
match.
time.
It was a segment.
Yes.
Let's be honest. It was interesting, and I'm not hating on it or anything. But you had something?
I thought that I thought it was really interesting the way they handled that match, where Miz was telling him what he was going to do, and was giving him the chance to quit, and Cena would come back with some smart ass line, and then Miz would just lay into him.
Miz was the perfect guy to do that too.
Right. It was.
Well, can I tell you what my idea was at the party I was at last night for the pay-per-view?
Go ahead.
No.
And well, I'm going to anyway. So, my idea, to give Miz back the belt and to have one more match with them, was to have him grab a little kid and hold him in the position for the skull crushing finale.
Oh God!
No. Hear me out. To hold him in the position for a skull crushing finale of Cena handcuffed or whatever. Okay. Then Miz telling Cena that he will decimate this little child. And of course, he has all the Cena gear on and everything like that. If Cena doesn't say, I quit.
And they could totally get it.
Cena's
to do that.
You son of a bitch, I quit. Cena quits. The kids, and then Cena grabs the mic and says, and by the way, Cena, this is my little cousin, Johnny. And he takes off the shirt and he's wearing Miz gear and all that stuff. It was just a huge...
That's a great ending. That would have been a way better ending. Actually. Hey.
He yelled at little kids saying it was their fault that he practically murdered John Cena.
Yeah, that was awesome. Where he stopped the match and he's arguing with a 12-year-old.
In the front row.
This is your fault. You are causing this.
My favorite part was the kid who wasn't a plant who came in. The kid who wasn't the plant came in and started talking to Miz.
It's because you suck.
Awesome. From the chat room, Riz learned that Papa Lunchbox may be a Papa. Karma is out of the WWE for more than 9 months with preggers. Bobby F. J. Town learned that Karma is the man-child of WWE because nobody would play with her, and Eve broke her Game Boy, and she cried. Also learned that Big Show was Tanya Harding to buy a vehicle. Why? Is there anything else in here?
Are we gonna have a 3-month random hidden feud as to find out who actually hit Big Show with a car?
God,
no, it was Roberto.
No,
they said
we'll forget about it.
It was Ricardo,
that's it.
Ricardo Rodriguez.
I think they did to break Big Show and Kane up so Kane can be a big guy on SmackDown again, and Alberto has something to do before October.
It was Rikishi, they say in the chat room. All right, guys. On that note,
Yeah,
thanks, guys.
Showed Ricardo sitting in the car.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Guys, hey, you can hit us up, as always, good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Go call us anything on the show. And let us know just what you think of wrestling from the week and things we should talk about, as people did today. But not balls.
We should talk about balls.
We've talked about balls.
Balls Mahoney was great.
But if you want to talk
call
about
us
these
at
balls,
412-206-WMS0. That's 9670. Hit the app on the iTunes and Android stores. Wrestling Mayhem Show Gold if you're looking for that. Of course, Twitter at Mayhem Show, WrestlingMayhemShow.com t-shirts or spreadshirt on there. Please, hey, we got WWE affiliates on there. Please click on that. We've been tweeting out some.
Buy the Macho Man DVD.
There you go. Use the link on the
I forgot
site.
to say it.
Use the link on the site. And we've been tweeting out codes for, I think it's
probably gonna be discounted now,
15% off of $60 or more, I think it is. I think we have another code on the site for free shipping. But please click those links if you're going to buy anything so we get credit for that. And support the show, guys.
Support the show.
There you go. Yeah, new ways. Please leave comments on iTunes and all that stuff. Guys, thanks AJ for joining us once again. For Chachi, Mad Mike, DJ LB, WrestleFan, and the great chat room tonight. This is Soar. We'll see you guys next week.
A tower of power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey. Ooh, yeah, dig it.
Just wait, just wait, just